Legacy Heating and Cooling offers no payments and no interest for 1 year on your new furnace. So, when you wake up to no heat, call Legacy. Call Legacy. If you need it immediately with no overtime rates. Call Legacy. Call Legacy. If you need it immediately and want to combo it with AC. Call Legacy. Call Legacy. No payment. Heating and cooling.
Immune compromised. Kick standard heated front seats and available all-wheel drive help keep you warm and confident. That's winter ready. Now, lease a 2026 Kicks S all-wheel drive for $398 monthly at 2.9%. Visit your local Nissan dealer today or nissan.ca for more details. Lease term for 60 months with 0 down.
Great read for Zumwinkle to no coolants, making that cross-ice pass.
Pull in! Who else? Montreal win! Lounge. Not a bad seat in the house. All the games and tons of big screens. Plus, Sally's menu has something for everyone, along with game night food and drink features. And this January, Oilers watch parties continue. So bring your friends and cheer loud and proud. Sally's Sports Bar and Lounge at all 3 Century Casino locations: Edmonton, St. Albert, and Century Mile.
Every day is game day at Century Casino.
He's heading into the driveway. Temperature's dropping fast, folks. He opens the hood and, oh no, the battery's on thin.
Got hung out, nowhere to go. Dyson Daniels, run down, blocked by Moran.
Clutch move. He's gone to Napa Auto Parts for the win. They've got batteries, winter-grade oils, antifreeze, and wiper blades built for cold Alberta conditions.
That's a championship play tip.
With over 85 locations, visit your local Napa store today or shop online at napacanada.com. That's Napa know-how.
Winter in Alberta doesn't mess around.
Hung out, nowhere to go.
For over 50 years, across a variety of countries,
because we lead with integrity,
on
and respect.
I'm Joe.
I'm Brent.
On sports.
When the weather hits
Sports.
We're fully stocked with rigging, lifting, and hauling gear.
On
Works
sports.
As hard as you do.
Titan Supply.
Built on trust, driven by safety.
On
Serving Edmonton, Grand Prairie, Red Deer, and Calgary.
Let us help you face the weather the Titan way.
Visit titansupply.ca.
And gambling website.
When you wake up to no heat.
Daniels,
Who else? Montreal win!
If you need it immediately with no overtime rates. If you need it immediately and want to combo it with AC. Call Legacy. Call Legacy. No payments and no interest for 1 year on your new furnace. It could only be Legacy Heating and Cooling.
It's in Gregor Show.
I got hung out, nowhere to go. Run down, blocked by Moran.
On sports 1440.
Pull in! Who else? Montreal win!
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
The killer shoots. Oh, wow! Utah! Oh,
Well, the Edmonton Oilers, can they make it a house of pain tonight for the Pittsburgh Penguins? We will see. Welcome to the Thursday edition of the Jason Gregor Show, Sports 1440, sports1440.ca, YouTube, Facebook, X, Instagram, Twitch. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. However you absorb the show, we appreciate it. Along for the afternoon as we set you up for the Oilers and the Pittsburgh Penguins. Also a busy night in the National Hockey League. To discuss that, some NBA chatter we'll get to. Also, the you look at the upcoming Olympics, and we're going to start previewing a little bit of the Olympics on what sports should you be watching? Where is, obviously I like watching all the sports, but where has Canada got some real good chances to win? We are a few weeks away from the start of the Olympics, so I think we should start chatting about that a little bit more. Why not? It's fun. Like, I love the Olympics, man. Now, I like the Olympic events. I don't like the corruption of the Olympics. I don't like that they put a lot of countries in debt when they host it. But the events itself, that's what I like. If we could, it's a very easy solution. Just 4 cities, rotate around for the winter, rotate them around for the summer. It'd be great. Save a lot of money. You'd get rid of the corruption. Think about all the people you wouldn't have to pay on the IOC committee. Wouldn't it be wonderful? So just some thoughts. The Gregor Show is always brought to you by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website where 100% of the revenue stays right here in the province at PlayAlberta.ca. And of course, you can get in on the action tonight, the Oilers and the Pittsburgh Penguins. No Stuart Skinner for the Penguins. Well, at least we're not expecting Stuart Skinner to start. He started last night in Calgary, picked up another win. Skinner has been red hot lately for the Pittsburgh Penguins, like scorching hot. 6-1 in his last 7 games, got like a .950 save percentage, of goals against average under 2. It's been pretty good. So Oiler fans, you know what? They'll pan to the bench at some point, and they'll give Stuart Skinner a welcome back to Edmonton moment, and I'm sure he'll get a big round of applause. He was the goalie that helped the team do Stanley Cup Finals. Local guy. Always, I thought, stood in, was never one who kind of shied away and pretended, if he had a bad game, he would say he had a bad game. It's never a real problem. I always enjoyed talking to Stu Skinner, learned lots about the position, had a lot of great conversations, probably more outside of hockey, to be honest with Stu. We had a lot of great chats about fatherhood, recommended books to each other on books that we've read. So look forward to bumping into Stu later on today. The Edmonton Oilers are hoping to get a win because an area that they have struggled is winning on home ice this year. The Oilers, 2 years ago, they had the second best home record in the NHL. Over the last 3 years, they've had the 8th best home record. This year, they've won 12 of 23 home games. Not good enough. And I know people say, home ice doesn't matter. Are you sure about that? Do you know what the Oilers' win percentage in the last 2 Stanley Cup runs is on the road compared to at home? Any guess? Just curious, right? They've won 15 of 22 home games, and they've won 14 of 25 road games. They're 14-11 on the road. They're 15-7 at home. Don't tell me home ice doesn't matter. Of course it does. It makes it a little bit easier for you, right? If you go 7 games, you get 4 home games. It's an advantage. And the Oilers are, if they can't get going here on home ice, they're not going to have home ice against Vegas. Right? They're going to have home ice in the first round, sure. But you'd like to have home ice advantage in the Western Conference. It would be nice. At least, now they're not going to get in the Western Conference and against Colorado, but still not out of the realm of possibilities to catch Dallas or Minnesota. It's not far-fetched at all. But they got to get on a run here. And it's got to start at home ice. This month, they've been good on the road, 3-0-1. They've only won 2 of 6 games at home. And if you look around the league, most teams win more at home. It's an advantage. You got last change, you got the crowd, emotion, many things. So the Oilers can start by helping themselves by getting a win tonight. You're facing another team's backup in Arthur Shelovs. Get a win. Find a way. Be ready to play. Captain Obvious, score the first goal. They're an infinitely different team when they score the first goal. So we'll touch on that because the numbers are very, very glaring on when the Oilers are good, when they're not good. What leads to success, what doesn't lead to success. So we'll touch on all that. Landon Ferraro will join us coming up in our first segment. We've got Dave Owens from Sherbrooke Liquor. TR will join us. He's in Calgary. How about this? So I was talking to TR earlier today. at around, I don't know, like 10:30. He's already at the rink, Connor, for their game tonight. He was telling me that when he played, when he would go to morning skate, he wouldn't go home. He would stay at the rink the entire day. Everybody's different. They got different things. He liked it. Now, they've got a lot of, now this is obviously different because there's a lot of merchandise and stuff they have to sign while he's there, significant amounts of it, right? You've got press conference in the afternoon, a little bit different than an NHL game, but still, it was quite comical. I don't know any current NHLer who goes to the morning skate at 10 or 10:30 and then just stays at the rink all day long. TR said he would nap there sometimes. So we'll talk to him about, hey, everybody's got their own different strategy. His was different. Connor Unger will join us, off to an excellent start. And hey, speaking of excellent, break up the Bakersfield Condors. They're on fire. And man, goaltending at the NHL level, Jarry's been good. Ingram's been fantastic. Calvin Pickard's been good for the last 6 weeks. And then you go to the Bakersfield Condors. And right now, you had Connor Unger. He comes up and all he's done is won games. Right? There's not much else he can do. He's 6-0. And then Matt Tompkins is like, okay, I like that. I'm going to feed off of that. So what's Tompkins done? He's gone back-to-back games with a shutout. The first goalie for the Condors since Lauren Brossoit in 2014 to have back-to-back shutouts. And it wasn't like it was easy. He stopped 70 shots in 2 games, did Matt Tompkins. So that's a good run. That's when you know everybody on your team is playing well, right? Unger had a stretch of games. Now Tompkins comes in and he goes back-to-back shutouts. The Condors have worked their way up to within 2 points, and they got a younger team. That's what's impressive about them. They're 2 points back of both Ontario and Colorado. They're 9-1 in their last 10 games. They're playing really well. So we'll talk to Connor just about what a crazy season he's had. Started in the ECHL, played for 3 different teams, and had virtually identical numbers. So it's not one where you can look and say, well, you know what? He's a product of his environment. He had a really good environment. You're playing on 3 different teams in the ECHL, right? He was with the Fort Wayne Comets. He was with the Greenboro Gargoyles and the Orlando Solar Bears. Might have to ask him, what was the best uni of the 3? And then he goes up to the Condors, and he actually increases his save percentage. He was .944 in Fort Wayne in 2 games. He was .945 in 4 games in Greensboro. And then he was .944 with Orlando. And he gets called up, and he's .955 in 6 games for the Condors. Pretty darn impressive. 6-0. Really impressive. So on the season, he is 11-1-4. Weird with Orlando that he went to overtime in a lot of the games. Well, actually, it was ties. So either way, it's a pretty good record for him. So he will join us in the 3 o'clock hour today. Livingston will be by. We got 2-minute warning with Tater. Dan Angursky from Pittsburgh will join us. What about the Penguins? Did you see last night? No Erik Karlsson. No Chris Letang. They're both hurt. They played really well. They got the lead. They never looked back. They led the game for 52 minutes and 11 seconds. It might have been the most even distribution of minutes I have seen in a regular season game. If you look at their 4 forward lines, the Crosby line at 5-on-5 played 13 minutes and 25 seconds. That was the most. And their 4th line, Blake Lizotte, played 12 minutes. Now, that's not, hey, they love to run 4 lines all the time. No, because the game before in Seattle, the difference top end was 14, the bottom end was 7. It was just there was only 1 penalty each team, and they just got into a rhythm. They were leading, and he just kept rotating the lines. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. You don't see that very often. So, that their top guys might be a little bit fresher than they normally would in a third game in 4 nights, second half of a back-to-back, because last night, everybody played minutes. On the back end, you had Kulak and Wotherspoon over 20, but then their number 3 to number 6 defensemen all played between 17.5 and 16, 15 in minutes. Very evenly distributed all across the board. And Stu Skinner Allows only one goal again for the fifth time in his last 7 starts. So we'll talk to Dan about that. The Penguins have moved up to second place in the Metro. Very few people thought they were making the playoffs this year. Good for them. It's been a surprise. Spec will be by. We'll take your thoughts. 833-401-1440. 833-401-1440. Connor Halley is by. Con man, you got your OC. We didn't really talk about that, but how excited are you about the Chargers OC?
Well, I would say I'm very excited, but Mike McDaniel hasn't officially signed yet. So there was the agreement and the hype, and everyone was very happy, but he is not officially signed with the team. So there is a little bit of concern still that maybe the Raiders or someone else swoops in and brings him in as their head coach. But if it works out, I'm super excited. I thought he did a great job with the Dolphins.
So wait a sec. You're saying like Schefter and those guys were premature and reported it?
Yeah, absolutely. They were saying that there's something agreed to, but nothing's been officially signed. So you know me.
So is it a verbal agreement? Because a verbal agreement can hold up in the court of law.
I mean, I would hope so. But I think there was still kind of that out clause in case he does get a head coaching job. He pulled his name out of the race for the Browns. It looks like Jesse Minter, former Chargers DC, is going to end up with Baltimore. So there's not too many jobs. I think the Raiders are kind of waiting on Kubiak out of Seattle, their offensive coordinator. So I think it's going to happen, but there is still just that little bit of a chance, and it'd be very Chargers to lose him in that situation. But if it happens, I'm fired up because I think he's a stud of an offensive coordinator. I think he's got a great mind, gets the run game involved. For the fantasy people out there, Omari and Hampton's stock would be skyrocketing if it happens. So, yeah, let's keep the fingers crossed and hope it happens.
All right. Okay.
Side note, I also talked to TR today. He did mention, he's like, yeah, I'm going to the rink in 2 hours. That was 8 a.m. when we spoke. So very good. And I started watching the latest season of Shoresy.
Mm-hmm.
The opening scene with TR might be one of the funniest scenes from television. Can't talk about it. Can't talk about what they're doing, I don't think. Don't want to get us in any trouble, but absolutely hilarious. Watch the opening scene from season 5.
Well, I can't talk about it. It's been public. It's out there.
It's the way that they're all touching themselves.
Oh.
Yeah. I don't know if we can get into it too much.
Oh, okay.
But it's a really good scene with the 4 main guys.
Oh my God. That is
we'll leave it at that. TR's
that might be the most odd thing you've ever said.
Yeah, I didn't know how to get around that one.
Oh, I haven't watched season 5 yet.
Oh my God.
Oh, okay.
Just like the look TR has when the camera pans to him, it's good. If you've seen it, you know exactly what I'm talking about.
All right. What is he? Is he? Are they taking like out of Modern Family? Right? When you're Phil, remember how we always used to look at the TV? Is that what they're doing?
Well,
look at the camera, I should say, not at the TV. Duh.
I wouldn't say the camera. He's just kind of down on all fours.
All right. All right. Okay. No need to say anymore.
Yeah.
We don't need to get in trouble with CR. There we go.
Use your imagination.
Well, try not to imagine that about TR, but if you say it's funny, then we have to see it.
Yeah.
So there we go. Boys, I love it. Unger goes 6-0. Tompkins is like, hold my beer. Fantastic. Well, you know what? Hey, healthy competition is the best thing. And when the team's winning, everybody's happy, right? Connor Unger is obviously thrilled for himself. He's up in the American League, right? He wants to keep climbing the ladder of professional hockey. And what a career path for Connor Unger. For those who don't know, and we'll have him on. So Connor Unger played in the WHL for Brandon and the AHL for Okotoks, but didn't play that many games that year. Then the following year, he played in the AJHL for Whitecourt and got a few games in the WHL for Brandon. Then in 2021, where there wasn't a lot of hockey due to COVID, played 8 games. Then the following year, played in the Dub for Regina. And the next year in Moose Jaw. So think about it. Brandon, Red Deer, Moose Jaw in the Western League from 2019 to 23. Also stints with the Okotoks Oilers and Whitecourt Wolverines in the AJHL. Then he goes and plays for Brock University in the Ontario, Ontario for U Sports. Plays a year there. Then last season, goes to Fort Wayne in the ECHL. Plays 35 games for the Fort Wayne Comets. Is basically their starting goalie, right? He played, well, actually, they kind of split, him and Brett Brochu, if you recall him, of course, former World Junior goalie. Then he's going back to the ECHL this year. But because the Oilers have signed 2 other young guys, he doesn't get kind of like the full-time team. So he bounces around. And he just makes the most of it. So I'm telling you, this guy has shown an incredible level of perseverance. Doesn't seem to get rattled by anything. And he's working his way up. From the WHL, year in U Sport. Now it's his second year of pro. Last year was all in the ECHL. Played so well in the ECHL this year. Got called up. And all he's done is win every game in the American League. So it's a great story, man. And kind of see where it goes moving forward. Goaltending is the ultimate late developing position in hockey. Like, hockey overall is a late developing sport, despite what some parents and some associations will think. They'll get all hot and bothered about their U9 team and U11 and where's my kid playing at U9 and U11? Hey, can't make the NHL. What? Calm down. It's Serenity now. Take a breath. It's a late developing sport, especially when contact happens at U15. You can be the best U9, best U11 player. You have no idea how they're going to handle contact. None. Or how are they going to handle puberty? How are they going to handle all of a sudden if they have other interests? Maybe I like music. Maybe I like girls. Maybe I like something else. You don't know. But overall, hockey is a late developing sport, and a lot of people forget it. It's why there's so many undrafted players in the National Hockey League. Don't ever forget it, right? That's why I know I was just at the John Reed tournament and, overhearing some of the players. And, hey, there's a lot of pressure. I get it. I don't know where it comes from. I hope the parents are always trying to squash it, because we can give you a list, a really long list of players who weren't drafted in the WHL and then went on to not only play WHL, play NHL, right? Like 97% of WHL players don't play in the NHL. It's hard, right? And you think about so many kids that are just late developers. Strady was never drafted in the WHL, right? Not at all. Didn't even play till he was 18. Still then got drafted in the 3rd round in the NHL. Played almost 700 NHL games. Jerome McGinley wasn't drafted in the WHL draft. So, and I know it's coming up for a lot of second-year U15 players this year. The draft is, hey, you know what? If you get drafted, awesome. But it doesn't mean a whole much other than you being drafted by one team. Doesn't guarantee you success. All right? You can be proud of it. Say, hey, this is what I've accomplished up to this point. Awesome. And if you didn't get drafted, don't worry. You can use it as motivation. Quick break. We'll come back. Landon Ferraro will join us here on the Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca. We'll talk some of the young guys. Matt Savoy ended a 16-game goalless drought last game. Ike Howard is on a 16-gamer now himself. And just for lots of young players, like I looked at Matt Savoy, the most he'd ever gone in his career, because obviously he didn't do it at any other level, in the WHL never, was 10 games last year in the American League. 10 games without a goal. And he had a really good American League season. But it's hard to score. The higher you go up, the harder it is to score. Now it's a 16-gamer. I thought Matt Savoy handled it pretty well. There was not a real dip in his game. You saw a few times when he was in a really good shooting spot, missing the net. And I think sometimes you're trying a little bit too hard to thread the needle rather than just rip it. And I won't be surprised at all if Matt Savoy scores on a more kind of consistent basis like he was earlier. And that's okay. It happens to lots of players. But I thought he handled it well. And, now Isaac Howard's the same guy. You'd like to see him score just because goal scorers, they're used to scoring. Never gone this long without a goal. It can weigh on you. And it's a challenge. We'll talk to Landon about that and more on the Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
A pizza from Papa John's is already pretty great. But you know what's even better? 2 pizzas from Papa John's. For a limited time, get a medium 1-topping pizza for only $6 when you order any large specialty pizza at regular menu price. Whether you're feeding your family, your team, or yourself, get your next meal from your locally owned and operated Papa John's with a $6 1-top medium when you order any large specialty at regular menu price. Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's.
Hey, Edmonton, did you know a local Play Alberta winner scored over $500,000 on Mega Jackpots Ocean Bells? Think about the season tickets you could lock down with that kind of cash. From major casino winners every hour to jackpots worth millions and hundreds of popular games to money that stays in the province, there's never been a better time to sign up for Play Alberta. Download the app today to get started with casino, sports, and lottery all in one app. Must be 18 plus to play. When you gamble, use your game sense. Summit Restaurant, located in the heart of the Silent Ice Center and just minutes from South Edmonton Common. Summit is your destination for exceptional house-made pizza, delicious entrees, and expertly crafted cocktails. Experience the perfect blend of flavor and ambiance in a modern setting. Join us for a straightforward yet elevated dining experience where our commitment to quality speaks to every bite and sip. Make Summit Restaurant your next night on the town.
It's like a locker room, minus the smell.
Ew.
Kevin Carius brings the banter, the buzz, and the bold sports talk. Weekday mornings from 7 to 11 on Sports 1440, Edmonton's home for sports.
Well, get ready for a silly hockey fans. Your partner in power just skated onto the ice.
EWEL.ca, the new e-commerce website for electrical wholesalers Edmonton, is ready for the power play 24/7, 365.
UL skates to where the puck will be in 5 years. Now that's forward thinking.
Killer selection, slamming products from the best brands, and legendary service.
Don't sit on the bench. Get your account today at ewell.ca and win that project.
Plug into your partner in power. Get an EWEL.ca account today.
Made for some rough roads, but it means trails are now packed and ready for action. Don't miss out on riding adventures this winter with a Ski-Doo from Riverside Honda and Ski-Doo. Work or play with new 2026 Generation 5 models with class-leading design and power. And right now, take advantage of 5.99% financing OAC. Only at Riverside Honda and Ski-Doo. 15 Inglewood Drive in St. Albert. And always at riversidehonda.com. Shop local, shop Canadian.
Across rural Alberta, volunteers and community groups work hard to make life better for their neighbors, creating new playgrounds, better rinks, and gathering places that bring us together. Vision Credit Union is proud to lend these local heroes a helping hand. Apply today for a Helping Hand grant up to $10,000 to support your community's next big idea. Let's make great things happen together. Applications are open until January 31st, 2026. Learn more at whatsyourshare.ca.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Crystal Glass, your clear choice for residential windows, locally manufactured and installed. Crystal Glass provides a beautiful product and incredible customer services for all of your residential needs. Call 310 Glass or visit crystalglass.ca for a quote.
This is Sports 1440, where Edmonton talks sports.
On YouTube, Facebook, and X.
Here's Jason Gregor.
Brought to you by playalberta.ca.
.225, it's game day. Sports 1440, sports1440.ca, YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. The Gregor Show is always presented by playalberta.ca, where you can get in the game all the time. If you like lottery, it is our favorite game. We've yet to win, but it's still my favorite. The Daily Grand. $1,000 a day for the next 20 years. Like I said, I get the math behind the lump sum, but I would just enjoy. I think it might keep me grounded a little bit more. Get $1,000 a day. Way you go. It'd be fun. Someone would rain in your parade and tell you, but whatever. If you can't live on that, what can you live on? Still invested. I just want to put it. Say, hey, you know what? I want to take it. Maybe every second day I'll invest money. It's all good. It'll still add up. I think you'll be fine. It's like over $7.3 million. Less chance of blowing it all in one spot. That's for sure. Now, let's get to our big guest of the day, brought to you by Silent Ice Center, a new state-of-the-art entertainment facilities open in Nisku, 2 sheets of ice, a 16,000-seat arena, and a restaurant with the viewing area. Check it out at the Silent Ice Center, just off of the QE2. As we are joined by our pre- and post-game host here on Sports 1440, as well as does some Canucks game on Sportsnet. Landon Ferraro joins us. Landon, how you doing?
Doing really good. How are you doing?
I'm all right, man. I want to get your thoughts as lots of guys, especially for a guy like Matt Savoy and most of the NHL players who were, the vast majority of them were scorers at other levels. Not all, but the vast majority of them. Then you come to the NHL and maybe even the AHL. It's kind of like your first time where you go through 10, 15 games without a goal. Like that never happened. Definitely didn't happen in minor hockey. Barely happened in junior for a lot of these players. Can you talk about the mental challenge that is to, even if you're playing well, how you kind of have to rejig your mindset into thinking, well, I can play well without scoring, even though I want to be a scorer?
I think that's the biggest part about becoming a NHL regular is when you get up to the NHL level and you're not scoring at the clip that you're used to. Some guys just try and force the issue and they cause turnovers and they find themselves back in the American League pretty quick. Other guys recognize that as much as, yes, you're here to help the team win, and if you can score, that's great. Like, you need to develop as a full player. You need to learn the defensive side. You need to learn how to be an energy player. Savoy went a long time without scoring, but I'd also say that he had some really good games mixed in there. He was really, his legs move really well. He was tenacious on forechecks. He was pretty good on the PK. Like, there was a lot to like in his game. And I think that's, again, where it's really important for a coaching staff to give young players different things to look for and work towards other than goals, right? Of course, that's the end goal. But giving them little check marks along the way of, let's straight focus about the PK for right now. Let's really work on that. And then as they start to get better at it, like they're building confidence as they're gaining your respect as a player and all of that. So it's about giving them other things to focus on away from the goals, because if not, you're going to go stir crazy thinking about it.
Yeah. That's totally fair. Matt Savoy gets a goal, and it's one where, might have went off his chest. I don't know. Maybe, a high stick either way. His stick was high. Might have got him on the butt. Who knows? But it went in. It doesn't matter how it goes in. You get a goal, you hear your name announced. It's a big relief. And I didn't think Savoy had played that bad at all. There was a few times in the slot where, you're probably trying to thread the needle rather than just shoot, right? And now all of a sudden the pressure's off. I don't want to be surprised at all if we see Savoy score another goal here in the next 3 or 4 games.
Not at all, right? Like, between him and Howard, they've had a good amount of chances. It's kind of what you're saying. They either end up overpassing it, or they're trying to put it in a spot that's big, like just big enough to fit the hole. It's like shooting in the intermission to win the car through that tiny little hole. Like, that's the spot they're aiming for, instead of picking your corner of the net and shooting it as hard as you can, trying to get your release off as quick as you can, and hoping that you either beat the goalie with your quickness, or they make a little mistake, they lose sight of it for that split second, and you let them half make a mistake and let you score.
The Edmonton Oilers have not been very good at home compared to the previous years. Like, they've won 12 of 23. They started out well, and then they got shellacked by Colorado. And really, since then, they haven't been very good on home ice. Winning only 8 of 18 games, and they've only won 2 of their last 6. And you know what? I looked at their numbers in the playoffs, and guess what? They win way more at home compared to on the road in the postseason the last few years. They've had to play more road games, and they've done okay, but they're 15-7 at home and 14-11 on the road. It's clear home ice advantage matters. And like the Oilers, they're right on the brink here of potentially losing this January month. Like, these final games here in this homestand are crucial if they really want to push Vegas for first in the Pacific.
Yeah, they got to start winning points. They got to start being able to get that third win in a row. Like, it still just blows my mind that this team hasn't been able to do that this year. But if you're talking about the home record, if you're looking at it specifically right now, yeah, you can discuss things and try and figure out what's going on. But for the home record this season, to give them a bit of leeway here in a sense, like they were on the road a lot through this first half of the year with some really tough trips. It felt like when they get home, it was like they had a couple times where it was they play one game at home and right back out. Like it was this in and out. It would almost feel like you're coming in, you're trying to quickly say hi and figure out what your wife and kids have done for the past week, change your clothes out, and you're right back on the road. I don't feel like they've had that home advantage for the most part through a lot of this season so far. And now that the schedule is flipped and like they don't go back out east again, their schedule eases up travel wise quite a bit. They're gonna have to keep finding a way to put up points. I think they're on the right track. And then of course with Leon Draisaitl going back to Germany and him needing that time, which is of course take your time and deal with that. But for the Oilers, they go into last game with 11 forwards. Podkolzin gets an instigator that, I see why they give it, but that's not an instigator. But at the same time, he misses 17 minutes. They're down to 10 forwards. Like, there is a lot of things that have gone into their home record in a lot of ways. But at the end of the day, they need to kind of push through that regardless. They have a good enough team to be at the top of the division. They now have the goaltending that they've been looking for quite a while. Jarry played great again the other night. That slide across save was awesome to see. But things are starting to piece together. They just need their guys to get back, and they need to be able to kind of have what the lines were before Draisaitl left. They just looked like they were really building towards a pretty good stretch of games.
Landon Ferraro joins us. Obviously, they miss Leon Draisaitl, but lots of teams are missing guys. Like, look at Tampa Bay. They won 11 in a row without, arguably three of their top defensemen in lots of those games. So you can't tell me the Oilers can't win a game or two without Leon Draisaitl, right? They won the first two without him. Great. Now you lose to New Jersey, where you played a really good third period, but stunk in the first two periods. So now we'll see if they can bounce back and get a win. And then, it sounds like he probably should return on Saturday, maybe, if not, definitely Monday. But I look at the Draisaitl thing I don't use as an excuse at all. Tons of teams around the league are winning games without one of their top players. Pittsburgh just did it last night without Carlson and Letang.
Yeah, and that's a totally fair thing to go. Just watching the game the other night, Louis DeBrusk said it really well, though. You can win games without your top guys. It's hard to win straight through. They already got the first two. You're going to have a bit of I don't want to say a setback, because they played a good game the other night. I think they did. They couldn't score. They had a couple posts. They had multiple chances. They just couldn't get it past Allen and net. But, I do think that when your team is designed the way that Edmonton's is, I would say a lot more of their offense rides on the top two players than it does on a lot of other teams. As much as they have their stars, they still have some more depth scoring that scores a bit more consistently, and it's a little bit easier that way. For right now with Edmonton, with him going out, that's shuffled the lines around. Yeah, it pops Nugent Hopkins back up, but now you're playing with with 11 forwards. Then it turns to 10. Guys are shuffling all over the place. It is, again, not to give them an excuse, but it's a challenging thing to try and play through. You're constantly having guys that like and play different ways, kind of cycling through your line.
You look at the Penguins, and they may have been one of the best surprises of the NHL season, to be honest. A lot of us thought, myself included, I didn't think they were a playoff team. I didn't think they'd be competing at all.
No, the whole discussion was if Crosby was going to be there or not.
Yeah, exactly. And so here they are, and they're in second place. Now, the Metro division is far from a dominant division by any stretch of the imagination, but hey, they got one more point in the Oilers right now. So full marks to the Pittsburgh Penguins that this has been a very good season for them. And, trading Tristan Jarry has worked out for them. Stuart Skinner's been excellent.
Yeah, we've all seen what Stuart Skinner can be as a goaltender. He can be a very good goalie. And after a while, through the beginning parts of this year, I remember especially talking with Walks, but with you as well, of like the conversation of can he get it done? Can Skinner be consistent? Can he get it done at the end of the season in playoffs? Was never going to go away until he lifted a cup. And it was something that as soon as he'd have, it wasn't even a bad game, but a bad goal would go in. The conversations would start already. He's standing on the ice, but he's sitting there thinking like, great, I'm going to have to listen to that now too. Right. And so there's that pushback back and forth. Like he's someone that I do think just needed a fresh start as well. As much as the Edmonton Oilers needed to find a better answer for their goaltender position, and I think they did that really well. I think Stuart Skinner needed to move on as well and be able to get out of this bubble and vacuum that he's been in for a few years and yes, had success, but also took a lot of heat a lot of the time. So for him to go there, and it's a team that, like you said, wasn't supposed to be in the playoff picture, in the playoff conversation, yet they're in there. It's a good feeling in that room. And around the organization. When you're pleasantly surprised with where your team's at, it's a lot of fun playing in that environment.
Oh God, yeah, it's exciting.
You're grateful, right? You weren't expecting. You're like, this is the most fun ever.
Yeah. Well, it's sometimes it's the old adage about when some of your best parties are ones you don't even plan. It just kind of happens. And I think, this season for the Pittsburgh Penguins wasn't meant to be one where now sometimes the organization, oh no, we were planning on being competitive. I'm like, okay. But I don't think really that's the case. But Dan Muse is definitely injected some into this Pittsburgh team because they look night and day. And it's not like they have vastly different players from last year. They got some, but Dan Muse has really got a lot of guys. He's getting the most out of a lot of players.
You're totally right. And I think the fact that they've had a couple of young players come into the lineup and into that group as well, like that combo was such a veteran team, and especially at the top end, right? Like generally you have like one 38-year-old, 37-year-old, not three that have played, how many years is it? 18 years, 17 years together at this point. Like it's a very set in stone dressing room, yet you bring in a younger coach, you bring in a couple of young players, a Ben Kindle that's 18, like you have all this excitement and youth and people that haven't been in this position before at this level, and so you have that excitement and to get to work. And for Muse, to have the opportunity to work in the NHL as a head coach, but get to do it with a Crosby, with a Malkin, and get to, kind of have them helping along the way, but also falling in line and listening and showing by example for the young guys. And for like a guy like Kindle coming in, and you're obviously like, I couldn't imagine being that age and sitting next to a Sidney Crosby, but he's handled it extremely well. The guys seem to really like him. He's got a smile on his face, right? Like it's fun to have kids around. They haven't been jaded by the league yet of, your flight gets delayed 10 minutes and some guys are sitting around like, oh, what are we doing? And the young kids just sitting there like, I can't believe I'm getting on the jet. Like, this is the best.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, again, as silly as that sounds, like it does make a difference. Just like with the Oilers this year, bringing in a Savoy, a Howard. Yeah, they're not 20, but at the same time, it's new, fresh blood that's excited to be there, has worked to get to that point.
Yeah. Oh, yes. There is, Stan Bowman talked about it at the start of the season, how he felt that he wanted maybe to add a little kind of like loosening up around the team and sometimes having some young guys around, that'll happen just from stories in the room to just, that excitement. I'm sure when you were a veteran, you see it in your first game, whatever, first goal, lots of firsts in this building and that building. And you kind of feed off that excitement. And it reminds you of like, yeah, this is why we play the game. Like, this is pretty fun and this is pretty cool, right? And
the thing I always found was, and it was obviously more from the young kids saying it, but like going to a rink for the first time and you're walking, you're like, you're not saying anything, but you're kind of looking around, and the older guy sees you, and you're like, it just kind of reminds him, like, yeah, this is really cool what we get to do every night. Sid's been doing it forever, but now he's getting to see it through that kid's eyes, and like it's something that brings teams together, but also it bridges the gap between ages.
Oh yeah, you mentioned like a guy like Ben Kindle, who was a 11th overall pick last summer. No one thought he was making the Penguins, but here he is. He's making the Penguins. He's got 20 points in 46 games. He's almost kind of being their second line center for the last few weeks.
He's done an amazing job.
Yeah, he's been a huge surprise. Like most people thought he'd be in the World Junior team, but he's playing for the Penguins. And his excitement level. And first of all, like, what a thrill. You're Ben Kindle. You're just like, oh my God, Sidney Crosby's my teammate. Now I got his number in my phone. I can text him. Like, it's a wild thing. Like, I'm sure he's telling his buddies, like, hey, Sid sent me a text yesterday. Like, that would be a wild, it's no different than, Matt Savoy or Ike Howard, where all of a sudden if McDavid sends him a text and you're just like, are you kidding me? I got McDavid's number in my phone. Like,
you're sitting at the team meal, and McDavid's done getting his piece of chicken, and he slides the tongs over. Like, wow, he just handed me that.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
big deal.
It is.
Yeah, that's it. Quickly, if Carlson and Letang are in the lineup tonight, because we're not sure until the warm-up, both wrote yesterday, but let's say they both come back in. Carlson's still a little bit of a riverboat gambler. There's no debate about that. Do you find, is there a better way to attack him if you're an offensive team?
Well, I mean, making him turn and defend as much as possible, but I think the biggest thing is being clean and quick in your transitions, because he's always, especially Carlson, but they're always looking to join the rush on the offensive side. So if there is a turnover, and the way that, especially a McDavid, but the Oilers do a really good job of transition, it's just whether their passes are on the mark that night, that they're really able to take advantage of it. But I think that's where they can burn the Penguins the most, is off of turnovers at at your blue line, and ripping that thing up as quick as you can and trying to catch them in odd mans.
Awesome stuff, man. Appreciate it. Always good to catch up. Have a great Thursday. Enjoy the game.
Yeah, you as well.
That's Landon Ferraro, pre- and post-game analyst here on Sports 1440. When we come back, we'll talk. We're going to class things up a little bit, as we'll talk to Jeff Jackson's doppelganger next on the Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
Legacy Heating and Cooling offers no payments and no interest for 1 year on your new furnace. So when you wake up to no heat, call Legacy. If you need it immediately with no overtime rates. If you need it immediately and want to combo it with AC. Call Legacy. Call Legacy. No payments and no interest for 1 year on your new furnace. It could only be Legacy Heating and Cooling.
A pizza from Papa John's is already pretty great, but you know what's even better? 2 pizzas from Papa John's. For a limited time, get a medium one-topping pizza for only $6 when you order any large specialty pizza at regular menu price. Whether you're feeding your family, your team, or yourself, get your next meal from your locally owned and operated Papa John's with a $6 one-top medium when you order any large specialty at regular menu price. Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's.
This Sunday, it's high-impact family fun that's second to none.
See Oil Rumble 3, an afternoon of wrestling in Ice District. Catch all the slap shots and suplexes as your Edmonton Oil Kings battle the Saskatoon Blades.
It's Family Fun Sunday with face painting, bouncy castles, plus pregame and intermission Love Pro Wrestling matches.
And Calamont Kids food combos are $10 or less. Value that hits harder than a steel folding chair.
Edmonton, Saskatoon, Family Fun Sunday, and Oil Rumble at Rogers Place.
Great seats at Rogers Place start at only $20 at oilkings.ca.
Looking for the perfect gift? Give the gift of great taste with a Loca Quality Market gift card. Redeemable at any Loca Quality Market or Loca operated restaurant. It's a treat for food lovers. Ready anytime. Grab yours today at loca.ca.
Got a car you're ready to part with? Find out what it's worth. Fast, easy, and totally free at Go Auto. We're talking top dollar trade-ins, whether it's a little worn or still rocking that new car smell. Just a few clicks, and boom, you've got your value. Text value to 780-777-7777 to start. That's value to 780 all sevens. Why guess what it's worth? Let Go Auto show you the money.
Measles is very dangerous during pregnancy, increasing the risk of many severe health-related complications. If you're planning to become pregnant, make sure you have received 2 doses of the vaccine at least 1 month before conception. Don't get measles, get immunized. Visit alberta.ca/measles to find out if you're up to date and what to do if you're not. A message from the Government of Alberta.
The whiskey.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Japa Machinery. Japa is digging deep on their 50-year history of supporting Alberta's construction industry with their line of special edition blackout excavators. Visit japamachinery.com for all the details.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
$2.47 today. Something we've never done in Thirsty Thursday. Oof, I like it. I always like new things. I got caught off guard during the break as we got set up. Okay, what's going on? Little surprise here from Dave as we get to Thirsty Thursday, brought to you by Sherbrooke Liquor. 2 locations, of course, south side, southeast side on 50th Street, 92nd Avenue, and the original location on, I guess that's like technically the west end, kind of. Little Central West on St. Albert Trail and 118th Avenue. If you're looking for non-alcoholic, anything, beer, wine, they got it all. Massive selection there. And then, of course, cocktails, beers, wines from all over the world. They got it all at Sherbrooke Liquor. As David Owens joins us once again. Dave, how you doing?
I'm doing fantastic, man. How you doing? You're looking really good today.
Oh, well, thank you. Yeah.
Sharp.
Going with the Ray Donovan.
Right?
The black and white.
Waiting for the bow tie to come out here.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, I do have a bow tie at home, but not a black and white.
No, is the one you tie yourself or do you clip it on?
No, it's a tie yourself.
Oh, attaboy.
But I'll be honest, I tied it once. It's really good. And I just try to slide it off. Because honestly, tying a bow tie is way harder than tying a tie.
It is way harder.
Way harder
than tying a tie.
Yeah,
100%.
I'm not going to lie about that.
Yeah.
It's pretty challenging for sure. Well, for a schmuck like me, it's challenging for sure. So today, well, by the way, it's Robbie Burns Day on Sunday.
Sunday,
So
yeah,
big
25th.
day for all
Every
of our,
January 25th.
All right, okay.
Big day. So Robbie Burns, of course, if you're Scottish, you probably know darn well who Robbie Burns is. But
Yeah.
If you don't, he's Scotland's national poet. Lover of whiskey and debauchery, and arguably the reason half the world, toasts with Scotch every January. So today we're gonna do something, fun, super practical. We're gonna taste one Scotch.
Okay.
5 different ways, plus a little bonus tasting in here. So no rare bottles, no snobbery around whiskey here. Just showing how tiny changes kind of completely change the experience. So, and Robbie Burns was a hilarious kind of guy. He once wrote one of the most famous poems about a mouse, and after accidentally plowing over its nest, and somehow turned that into a reflection on life, bad luck, and human nature, and just to keep things on brand, Burns also worked as a tax collector for whiskey. So while writing poetry and drinking it, while also being the tax collector, it might be the most Scottish career path, imaginable at the end of the day. So yeah, don't overthink it. We're going to try and drink it like they like it, and tasting it like it's actually enjoyed and not overly precious, but super thoughtful, super fun.
All right. So
And,
we're going to start now.
So we're starting off here with
Single
Auchentoshan.
Auchentoshan.
Auchentoshan 12-year-old single malt whiskey. So this is a lowland malt. These are great. Lowlands are great single malts to get into if you're just starting to drink whiskey. So they're lighter, milder. They're not. There's nothing really smoky overly about them or anything like that. Just give you some really light, approachable, kind of citrus forward. Some notes of honey and malt and some soft oak, some gentle fruit in there. So. And the other thing that's really interesting about Auchentoshan is they're triple distilled. And so they're one of the very few rare Scotch whiskeys that are triple distilled. Irish whiskey is almost all triple distilled, except for the odd rare one that's just double. So really cool. And that third distillation really tones it down and cleans it up a little bit. So really great whiskey for that. So this is the whiskey we're going to meet today before it's had a personality change kind of version. So This is your baseline. Like I said, light citrusy, a little honey, some soft oak in there.
Like a lot of Scotch, you know, goes down very smooth, and then the heat comes. I find just a little bit afterwards. But you're always saying with Scotch, you should keep it in your mouth, which I didn't do the first time.
So take
you
a little
should
sip.
hold it in.
Hold it in until it starts to burn a bit.
Okay,
as soon as you feel it start to burn, hold it for just a couple more seconds until the burn starts to go away. Then you give it a swallow, and you really start to feel the flavors and stuff come through on it. So this is what the distiller intended on this whiskey here. Just really beautiful.
So you want to feel the burn a little bit.
Yeah, you want to. And so what that does is it tones down the alcohol, your perception of it for the next drinkings that you're doing.
Okay.
So that first one, you're always going to get that burn, especially right off the bat.
Right.
And so if you're just constantly sipping without really letting it acclimatize to your mouth,
It always feels like, oh my God, this is the worst.
always going to feel like that.
Okay, well,
Exactly.
that is. How many guys out there or ladies have someone offers you a Scotch? Oh, geez, I don't like Scotch, because the first sip is usually, wow, you just punched me in the face.
Totally.
Right.
Yeah.
But then if you hold it in, absorb the punch, feel the punch, and then you're like, oh, punch isn't that bad.
That's right. Okay. And what your saliva does also, it's a natural watering it down. And so it's lessening the amount of alcohol that's in there also at the exact same time as you're salivating in there. So the next thing we're going to try here, the next one, we're actually going to do it with a drop of water. So if anyone gives you grief for adding water, just tell them that the Scots do it and stare at them silently.
So you just put a little bit of water in it.
So just a few drops of water to your liking. And in Scotland, you go to the bars, they'll actually have water taps on the bars for the people. They order their whiskey and they go fill up how much water they want into it.
I do the hold in there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, now it's like there's no burn.
Nothing in there.
It's flavorful, but there's no burn.
Exactly. So you get all that flavor.
Now it also had a few drips of water, so maybe that's
and
it
so
too.
that water, and that's exactly what the water did. So the water really toned it down, and let you taste all the natural flavors that are inside of that whiskey. So, the purpose of getting the water in it really helps. It opens up the aromatics. So you can smell a little bit more, softens the alcohol, just get the actual sweetness and stuff of it. So, if you've ever said, oh my God, the Scotch is too strong, try this.
Put a little. Now it's kind of like when if you put something on the rocks, right, where it won't water it down, you get a big thick ice cube.
That's right. It'll slowly water it down.
Yeah.
And thin it out. But yeah, it'll absolutely.
Yeah, because I find now I drink stuff on. The flavor seems to last, and it doesn't water it down. If you want to put water.
No, you don't want to water it down too quickly. But and you'll also find some Scotch whiskeys. I mean, this is 40%, which is kind of a baseline for Scotch whiskey. But if you're buying cask strength stuff and so on, you're over 50%, sometimes over 60% alcohol. Those are intense. And so I always like to taste them first to find out what they taste like, but it will almost always add water to them.
Okay.
Rare occasions I won't.
All right. So that's two. So we've got it straight. Now we've got it with a little water.
Okay.
Now what do we do?
Yeah. So now I'm going to give you a little lemon peel there.
Yeah.
All right. And we're going to
I dropped the lemon peel in it.
No, I'm going to give you a fresh one there.
Okay.
And you're going to take the lemon peel and you're just going to express it over top. So you're going to squeeze it.
Okay.
Twist it.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're just going to rub it around the edge of the glass. And then you can drop it in or throw it out.
So I rub it around like the lip of the glass?
Just around the lip of the glass. Yeah.
All right. Okay.
All right.
Stuff I've never done before.
There we go. Yeah. So this lemon peel expression.
Do you drop the?
You can do your choice. Put it in or toss it. Whatever
Did you
like.
clean it? No.
I did clean it. That's what I did.
It is true. My wife worked at the bar and said the number one thing, the fruit can be so dirty. Like don't put
fruit
it in
and veg always. Yeah. So we're not making lemonade. This is all about aromatherapy for it, right? So.
Oh man, is it? Now it's.
And this is going to highlight, and so just get a little swirl in there too.
Like it tastes completely different.
Completely different.
Completely different. It's the exact same Scotch, but it would just like anybody who's watching online, like look at how small of a lemon that I had in there. Like it's a very thin coat. I probably should pull it out.
Yeah, and the rind is what you want, right?
Yeah.
So use a peeler.
Yeah.
You want to make sure. So you just want the rind of it. You don't get it off the lemon, and you don't want any of the juice going in there.
No juice,
so
just the rind.
This is just the right because you're just getting the oil, so you're just expressing the oils.
Unbelievable,
right? And so it's also it's highlighting all the citrus that's already in that whiskey. Oh, just fantastic.
That is such a fantastic idea.
Yeah.
Never had it. Sit at your friend's house, hey, have a scotch first time. Okay, now we'll put a lemon rind in. Like,
Absolutely.
Unbelievable. Simple. Costs you nothing. It's like you got a total different drink.
Totally different drink.
But
Totally-
it tastes really good. The
tastes
flavors,
really, really
the
good.
flavors, obviously it's a little bit more lemony.
Yeah.
But afterwards, it's
just it's the way to go. It's
Very
such a
good.
beautiful, beautiful piece.
Oh.
All right. So the next thing we have in here, we've got some PX sherry in here. So this smells like Christmas cake with good decisions coming. Oh, so
what did you put in this one?
So this is PX sherry. So this is that Alvear sherry that's right there. So
you put the sherry with the scotch.
So what we're gonna do first is I want you to taste the sherry. Just get an idea of what sherry is here.
Oh, so this is straight.
So
sherry.
this is straight sherry. So we're gonna taste this. So this is we're trying to do this to understand what the PX does to it. So a lot of whiskeys have sherry in them, including this Auchentoshan.
Okay.
So we're just gonna use it to highlight the sherry so you understand a little bit more where those flavors are coming from.
Okay.
So sherry, it's made from sun-dyed Pedro Jimenez grapes. It's really sweet and rich. Raisins, fig, dates, molasses.
Yes, figs and the raisins.
Figs and the raisins in there.
Definitely taste those.
Classic expression of the style. This one here, super intense, but it's balanced.
You obviously have the Alvear at
Absolutely,
at
so
Sherbrooke.
both locations.
Okay.
And this is people use this.
What's the 98 points on the bottle? What's that?
That's what it's rated in World Wine.
Like 98 out of 100.
98 out of 100. Yeah,
pretty good.
Yeah. I said Alvear is
Even
one
better
of the,
than McDavid. That's pretty good.
That's right. It's one of the oldest and most respected sherry producers in Spain. So
right.
it's absolutely fabulous. So there's an empty glass there.
Yeah.
So what I want you to do now is I want you to just really swirl it around.
Yeah.
Get a really good swirl in there, and then you can just pour out the rest into that other glass there. Like that. And then you're going to take.
So I'm leaving. So the sherry that I poured out, now I pour the scotch into the one where the sherry's out of.
That's right. Exactly. So I'm
Okay.
going to pour the scotch into that one.
All right.
All right.
Okay.
And then you can give that
Like
a
we're
swirl.
mixing on the fly here.
That's right.
Like I said.
So we're not
never
mixing
done.
it. We're
No.
just letting the scotch walk past the sherry and pick up a little accent to it. So, so if you're making this at home, just pour a little sherry in, rinse it around the glass, and toss the sherry, and then add in your scotch.
Yeah, it definitely lessens the bite right away. But the dates and the raisin, like it's very. It seems like it's more full.
More fuller, yeah.
Yeah.
So if you go back and have a little sip of your one with the water in it,
This
yeah,
one, yeah.
yeah, and try to pick up those same notes in there now. All right, so you'll start to match up where the sherry really is great piece for Scotch whiskey.
It's
right?
funny the water one when I drink it now, it doesn't have as much of an aftertaste. Whereas the sherry will still be a little bit. You know how when you take a sip of scotch and then it's kind of a delayed, and then you feel the heat.
Yeah.
You still feel the heat more with the sherry.
You do with a little bit of sherry, yeah, exactly. So why sherry and scotch? Well, the sherry cask used to be widely available in the UK. Now people don't drink it as much as they used to. It. I mean, everybody's grandma over from there probably drank sherry at one point in time.
Okay.
So they were widely available. Scotch, would use them for aging their whiskeys all the time, and so the interaction creates that deeper, richer whiskeys, and it still remains one of the most popular styles out there. And there's PX casks, there's Oloroso casks, there's a variety of different sherries that are out there that bring different things to it. And sherry barrels were reused because, honestly, the Scots, they're thrifty. They like to save a little bit of money.
Oh, hey, I know that about Scots.
That's right. That's right.
My father-in-law is a classic.
That's right. And when they found out that the Americans got a rule around their bourbon that they could only use a brand new American oak, that the barrels were useless after that, the Scots were like, "Oh, we'll take those off your hands."
He got me the line. Take care of your nickels and dimes. The dollars will take care of themselves.
That's right. Exactly. And awesome. So, last but not least, and I really like this one here. This is the, I like whiskey, but I also like hydration version. So we've just made a simple whiskey Scotch and soda highball.
Scotch and soda. Okay.
Scotch
I've
and
heard of
soda.
Scotch and soda. I've never had.
Yeah. So this is just simple. It's ice. You put ice into it. Typically Scotch, top of soda. You can optionally put a lemon peel in it if you want to. And, it's just light, refreshing, a really common way to drink Scotch in Japan, Scotland. And just shows that, whiskeys can be really versatile and casual. And, This is a really underrated way to drink scotch.
And I mixed the lemon one afterwards with the scotch and soda. Ooh, I think I like the scotch and soda better with a little lemon twist to it.
Yeah, absolutely. I think I would too.
Like, it's interesting how, one base drink and then you mix in different things. Because now, obviously, if you put in like pop or something, it takes away the taste of it.
Yeah, right? Yeah. I mean, ginger ale is another really popular Scotch highball. So Scotch and ginger ale. Scotch and ginger ale, yeah. And even there's actually some really cool pairings that are out there if you really get weird and geeky about it. Green tea also really pairs extremely well with Scotch.
Get out of here.
Absolutely, 100%. Try it sometime. It's great.
Green tea. Hot or cold?
Either way.
Okay.
Yep. Either way.
Like a hot toddy almost.
A hot toddy almost. That's right. But the green tea, just the palate and the flavors of that and the dry, it really pairs well with the Scotch whiskey. So
that's good. Hey, before I let you go, I want to read. Hey, JG, I just need to do a shout out for the Sherbrooke crew, but especially to Steven. After hearing your spot on your show, I reached out for some specific beers. Steve took the time to respond to my inquiry with a detailed email, give me a breakdown of what was available and also some other beers I may like that were of the same wavelength. Can't say enough good things about Sherbrooke and their attention to detail. I love beers even more now from Aaron. There you go, Aaron. I love it. Steve knows his stuff, buddy.
Awesome.
It takes some time because what I've learned on the show now, and I get to try all these different type of beers that I never would have tried before. And even something like scotch, because a lot of people got a lot of texts coming in, guys, I can't drink scotch, but hearing now I might have to try it again.
No, absolutely. There's so
hold
many
it in the
different ways
mouth. That seems to be the key.
Hold it in your mouth.
Feel the burn, push through the burn, and then the next time you sip it, it's not like, oh my God, I'm getting punched in the face again.
And the other key is, and I find that Scotch whiskey is there's a lot of people that are really hoity-toity about it, snobbery and all that. Don't buy into that crap. The Scots, they love their whiskey and they're so unpretentious about it. So you find the way you enjoy it, and the way you enjoy it the most is the best way to drink Scotch whiskey. So like we drank these out of just simple beer glasses here today, and we put lemon peel in it, some extra sherry, water, soda, played around with it. Do what you want with it. Drink it the way you want to enjoy it. But there's all sorts of different ways to do it and some great stuff out there. And we're really happy to help people find the right way to enjoy it.
Yeah, I love it. Great stuff, man. Appreciate it.
Awesome.
Enjoyed the game tonight.
Yeah, I'm stoked about it. Looking forward to it.
Oilers winning?
Yeah, they always come back and win after they've blew a third game lead, don't they?
They can't win 3 in a row, but they're pretty good at coming back.
That's right.
That is true.
Yeah.
Awesome. Let's get to the con man and a sports 1440 update brought to you by Legacy Heating and Cooling, home of the no payments, no interest for 1 year on your AC unit. Stay cool stay warm all winter. LegacyHeating.ca.
This is the Sports 1440 update.
It is game day. The Edmonton Oilers taking on the Pittsburgh Penguins down at Rogers Place. Tristan Jarry gets the start. Puck drop 7, pregame 6 o'clock here on Sports 1440. Elsewhere, Golden Knights are in Boston. Canadians taking on the Sabres. You got the Hawks and the Hurricanes. Jackets, Stars, Sens, Preds, Jets host the Bounders, and the Red Wings in Minnesota in the association. They're taking on the Hornets, Rockets in Philadelphia, Warriors, and the Mavs, Timberwolves, Bulls, Lakers, and Clippers meeting in Inglewood, and it's the Trailblazers hosting the Miami Heat in the PWHL. Toronto's in Vancouver. That one gets going at 8 o'clock. Coming up in hour 2 of the Jason Gregor Show, we'll be joined by our co-host, former NHLer Terry Ryan, also Bakersfield Condors goaltender Connor Unger, and we'll speed things up in the Cantor Racing Report with Colin Livingston. I'm Connor Halley. This has been a Sports 1440 update.
It's Sports 1440, a Stingray radio station broadcasting on Treaty 6 territory.
Download the free iHeartRadio app and listen to CKJR wherever you go.
A pizza from Papa John's is already pretty great, but you know what's even better? 2 pizzas from Papa John's. For a limited time, get a medium one-topping pizza for only $6 when you order any large specialty pizza at regular menu price. Whether you're feeding your family, your team, or
Tonight
yourself.
for the Pittsburgh
Get your next
Penguins,
meal
we
from your local
can orders.
London
Can they
operated
make it a
Papa
house
John's
of pain
and a
tonight for the
$6 one-top
Pittsburgh
medium when you
Penguins?
order
We
any
will
large specialty
see.
at regular
Welcome
menu
to the
price. Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's.
Legacy Heating and Cooling offers no payments and no interest for 1 year on your new furnace.
Yeah,
so
YouTube,
when
Facebook,
you wake up to no
and
heat, Legacy Heating and Cooling offers no payments and no interest if you need it immediately with no
Today,
overtime
something
rates. If you need it immediately and want to combo it with AC. Call Legacy. Call Legacy. No payments and no interest for 1 year on your new furnace. It could only be Legacy Heating and Cooling.
When picking a New Year's resolution, try to avoid things you have no influence over.
Like bringing home the cup? That would be awesome.
But completely outside your control. Instead, pick something you can control, like bringing home some Wilhauk beef jerky.
That would also be awesome. But what if we brought the cup home to Canada and it was filled with Wilhauk beef jerky?
Okay, I'll allow it.
Wilhauk beef jerky, only available in Leduc. Get yours today, because you don't win cups with salad.
The longest running basketball show in Canada airs every Saturday morning at 10 on Sports 1440. Hoop City with Paul Sir introduces a new generation of basketball talk, and it's right here on Edmonton's home for sports, Sports 1440.
The new double cheesy melt at McDonald's. We're talking 2 juicy, mouth-watering 100% Canadian beef patties, 2 slices of cheesy goodness, with even more melty, cheesy sauce on top. Topped with pickles, then crispy and grilled onions. The way it all comes together, you don't just eat it, you melt into it. The double cheesy melt, only at McDonald's. For a limited time only at participating McDonald's restaurants in Canada.
You matter. Your mental health matters, and you're braver than you think. Not Alone is an organization focused on creating a space of acceptance and support through tough, meaningful conversation. My name is Tyler Smith, and you are never alone. NotAloneCo.com. It's okay to not be okay.
At Fountain Tire, success is a team effort. They're committed to their team members and their customers. And that means treating your vehicle like it's their own and finding solutions that suit your needs. Because whatever the road brings ahead, they're on it with you. Visit FountainTire.com today.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Leading Edge Physio. We treat pain and injuries, head to toe, and some other issues that might surprise you, like incontinence, vertigo, neuropathy, and cognitive issues. We invest in the technology, techniques, skills, and people who know how and what to fix. Life shouldn't hurt. LeadingEdgePhysio.com.
This is Sports 1440, where Edmonton talks sports.
On YouTube, Facebook, and X.
Here's Jason Gregor.
Brought to you by PlayAlberta.ca.
Just after 3 o'clock, Gregor, Hallie, Sports 1440, sports1440.ca, YouTube, Facebook, X, Instagram, Twitch, you name it, you can see it, watch it, listen to the show, download the pod, so we appreciate it. Any few minutes of your day or few hours that you give us, we appreciate it. Thank you very much. It's always brought to you by PlayAlberta.ca. Remember, always support our sponsors if you can, because they're a big reason why we are on the air on Sports 1440. The Oilers taking on the Pittsburgh Penguins tonight. Unfortunately, for those looking for a little extra juice to a storyline, which is always fun when a player returns, Stu Skinner played last night in Calgary, won again, 6-1 in his last 7. He's got ridiculous good numbers in that time. They win 4-1, and it'll be Arturs Shilovs. Now, they have basically been splitting over the last, tonight will be 16 games. Skinner's played 8 of the last 15. Shilovs has played 7. Tonight it'll be 8-8. In that time, Skinner's 6-2. He's got a .922 save percentage and a 1.8 goals against average. 2.02 goals against average. Shilovs is 4-1-2, so it's basically 1.47. He has an .896 save percentage and a 2.64 goals against average. So Skinner's numbers behind the exact same team have been much better. And quality of competition has been pretty much the same. Skinner faced Tampa Bay. Shilovs has faced Carolina. The rest have kind of been fairly even overall. So it's not like the defense's system is that much better. You know what? It's worked out well for him. And the Oilers, in a way, are getting the quote, easier goalie tonight in Shilovs based on recent success. And they've had some success from him in his time in Vancouver. So we'll see. If you're an Oilers fan, you want the win probably more than you want to face Stuart Skinner. I would think. Maybe I'm wrong. Let's go in the room now. Brought to you by Action Electrical. Take action on your savings. If you're looking for solar, they can help you out. Project service, as well as testing, they do it all. actionelectrical.net. And we're joined by a gentleman who's a first-round draft pick way back in 1995 by the Montreal Canadiens. Of course, now stars on Shoresy as Hitch, and he's doing the Western Canada Tour. He's playing in Calgary tonight, which means he gets at the rink at 10 in the morning and doesn't leave, and he'll do the same thing for tomorrow. Somewhat of a lunatic. Terry Ryan joins us. TR, how you doing?
I'm doing all right, and you are correct. I've been at the rink here for about 6 hours so far.
And you told me that when you played, you did that. Like, you're the one, like, did you have a, so you were never a pregame nap guy?
I really early on in junior, I did it because everybody did it. And it seemed like it was, like that was a routine. And after a few, I guess, years, I slowly, everybody prepares differently, and it's on my mind, and I can't sleep. I get, anxiety, not bad, like, oh God, what am I going to do? Anxiety, but like the nervous butterflies. And when I'm at the rink, I don't have it.
Okay.
So oddly enough, a lot of people are the opposite, but I would get there early, often go to the pregame skate, and then I'd bring like a lunch in, eat at 11:30, 12 o'clock in Tri-Cities, maybe at Sherry's across the street, get a bite, but right back. And then I would just bring in, even right up until senior hockey, you'll think, it was three years ago playing for the St. John's Caps, I'd do the same thing. I'd go in and whatever work I had to do, bring, emails, nowadays videos or cameos or whatever it would be, always get those done. And I just feel way more comfortable at the rink all day. But by the time I get on the ice, I don't, I'm very prepared.
All right. Now we had Struddy on the show on Tuesday, and he wasn't backing down, claiming that, hey man, he dominates in these type of events. So are you looking, I know you're not supposed to look past an opponent, TR, but are you kind of thinking of your rematch with Struddy tomorrow night more than the Calgary alumni?
Well, I tell you this, I was talking about it, and one of the boys played the Chris Pronger video, invitation, if you will. And I got to say, even though, a little bit of this is obviously tongue-in-cheek promotion, it was generally scary. I mean, the whole experience so far has been unique in that we're meeting people, some people like I played with a little bit, maybe against friends I know from fundraisers, but this is wild because Edmonton and Calgary and Vancouver, I've got real good friends, acquaintances that I've kept up with over the years. Struddy would fit into that category. And I got like my billets and my daughter's mother, Danielle, and I aren't together anymore, but she's a friend and her whole family's from out here. So I'm going to have like 40 or 50 people at each game, and then plus the players that we're playing against, some really good friends. So from that perspective, we couldn't be any more pumped because a few of the boys are in the same position. And I don't know if you've heard, but there are a lot of Newfoundlanders in Alberta, apparently. So there'll be a lot at the game.
Yeah, there's a few of them, TR, a few of them. So, if you get on the mic, you probably talk a little Newfoundlandese. It'll go over very well. The Edmonton Oilers are taking on the Pittsburgh Penguins. The Penguins were in Calgary last night, got a big win. The Penguins have been one of the hottest teams in NHL over the last 15 games. They're 10-3-2. They're second place now in the Metro. And, Stuart Skinner has fit in well there. Brett Kulak scored his first goal for them. They won last night without Letang and Carlson. The Edmonton Oilers are in second place in their division, TR. And January was the month where they had 11 home games, 4 road games. They've only won 2 games at home so far. Now they still have 5 left this month. But they got to take advantage of this. It's been a disappointing month on home ice for the Edmonton Oilers.
Yeah, which, I mean, someone brought that up to me the other, it might have been when I was on the show on Tuesday, but is that would be rare for Edmonton, wouldn't it?
Yeah,
or have they, in my mind, they always generally have a good power play. Very good. Excellent. And a home record. So, am I wrong in saying that?
No, they've been, they were the second best home team a few years ago. In the last 3 years overall, they're 8th best, and they're like 2 wins out of being 3rd best. So no, they've been a good home team for sure. And even in the playoffs, 15-7 in the playoffs the last 2 years, 14-11 on the road, which is good, but clearly you're still better at home. And that's why for the Edmonton Oilers, the Stanley Cup is their goal. Well, to make it easier, not a guarantee, but to make it easier, get home ice advantage. And that's got to happen in the regular season. That's why the regular season matters, because that determines home ice advantage.
Definitely. And for people that haven't played, and I don't mean the NHL either, like if you play any level, I guess you get to a level in hockey where there's hitting, or I guess if you're a female player, where it gets intense, 16, 17, 18. For me, once that, like when I was in minor hockey, it didn't really matter where I played, but like once there's intensity at all, and, hockey becomes, a real team game where, and especially the females, I'm not saying because there's no fighting and there's no hitting, you still got to block shots, you still got to play hard, you got to be hard on the puck. And I always found that way easier to do at home, even if it's just mental, which it's not, because there are other factors. You got fans behind you, and you might get the bounces, as they say. But for me, it was a major, major factor. And I mean, I played out there. I tried to play with no fear. I'll be lying if I said I never had any fear. I think that was probably what fueled it, is that you are a little bit scared of the situation. Not always of getting a punch in the face, but just of going in. I remember, it's not easy. Like junior, going into Kamloops, bring up Struddy. These guys won 3 out of 4 Memorial Cups, but it was no of when I played, or 3 out of 5 my junior years. But it was no easier to go into Prince Albert or Saskatoon or any of those places. And at home, we're playing against the same team, but you got all kinds of confidence. So for me, those games were huge. Like home ice advantage is, for me, it's not the most important, but it's a very, very important thing. Everything intensifies in the playoffs. And I have no idea about that stat, but I would think that most teams take advantage, or most winning teams take advantage of the home games in the playoffs.
Yes. Oh, no question. And, you still got to be a good road team in the playoffs, no question. You're not going to win. You're not going to go 7 games every series and only win on the road or at home, right? But like Edmonton, they were 15-7 at home, 14-11 on the road. You got to be good on the road for sure, but you're not. It's hard to be as good. It's just how it goes. Because usually, even if you're playing a team that's below you in the standings, there's still that energy of the home crowd, last change, small little details in a series where lots of times there's not a lot separating both teams. Those can be the differences. And so anytime you can have an advantage, I don't care if it's 1% advantage, 0.5%, you want that. And so I look at this month down the stretch, you got Pittsburgh, 3rd game in 4 nights, second half of back-to-back, same thing with Washington, same thing with Anaheim. Like they lost to New Jersey in that situation. You can't keep dropping those games, or you're simply going to drop out your chance to finish first.
Yes, as we're speaking, I got texts coming in. People are listening. So, to elaborate, I liked road trips for team bonding. And that also sounds cliche, but road trips, I'm not saying that I didn't like them. And, for the togetherness for the team, I think a good road trip, and not necessarily partying. If you get a chance to go out, that's great. But I just mean the road trip, being together and having to, eat meals and spend time and sit next to each other on the plane, things like that. So it's not like I didn't like the road. And you get together, and you face that adversity as one, no matter how hard a place is to go in and play. So there are advantages, but if I'm flipping a coin, or if I got to take one or the other, I would definitely say I know my own body, and I was way, way more excited and jacked to play at home. I think you might have seen some energy if you watched me play on the road, but that was just, do this. I got to go do it because that's what I do. But it was much more easy at home. It just seemed it was just like a matter of fact, that's it. I'm at home. Now, a lot of people, though, probably, I'm sure some people feel a bit of pressure at home and they like going on the road, but I think I can speak for most players, at least from my era. Now it's a little bit different, but try going in to Saskatoon, Prince Albert, Red Deer in the late 90s on an Eastern road trip, and trying to get out of that without 20 fights happening. Probably not likely, but it's a different game now.
Yeah, different. But even at the NHL level, like the crowds, everything, you played in Montreal. You'd rather play at the, back then at the Forum, right now at the Bell Center than you would on the road. It's how it is. There's obviously teams you have to have a good road record if you want to be a top team, but most of the best teams have a really good home record more often than
100%.
not. There's always the outlier every now and then, but and the Oilers have been a good home team. That's what makes this, like, they started out this year pretty good at home. And then they got spanked by Colorado, that 9-1 loss. And since then, including that game, they've only won 8 of 18. Right? So this is not just a few games here. People think I'm overreacting. I always like to look at things a little bit bigger picture. We're talking 3 months where you've only won 8 of 18 games on home ice. It's just simply not good enough if you want to be a top team.
Not at all. I'm very surprised by that statistic because, you're right. That's a large sample size. And who knows? If you were to break it down, there has to be a reason. It's not just luck. But also, if there's any team like we've seen with this nucleus, with these guys, generally, if it was a different cast of characters, I'd say probably this is a problem. But, they've got the parts to turn it around for sure. They've already done it. So for me, it probably would be a matter of time. But it's, this isn't early in the season anymore. You want to fix that now, right? Because, the playoffs aren't that far away, right? And then we got that Olympic break, and for many it'll be a break, but for a few of the Oilers it won't be. So, you got to get these points when you can.
TR, have yourself a good day. How many things have you signed today?
And when you phoned just then, I was in the middle. We got probably 1,000. I'm guessing probably 1,000. Now a lot of these are like posters and cards and things. And there's a VIP, right? And so people start getting here in about an hour, and we do a meet and greet, and then we do a live Q&A, and there's, we generally immerse with the first. I think they sell 200 or 300 VIP. So we'll go out and get that going now. And I would say by the end of tonight, we will have signed 2,000 if we sign one. There's a lot, and we stay around afterwards too, and make sure that every last person gets their picture. Everybody that wants a picture, wants a signature, gets it. Not one person in the building will leave unhappy that way. And I guess when we go out to these things, we appreciate it because we're all hockey players, but not all of us played in the NHL, and not all of us played in the NHL for a long period of time. It would probably be only Jordan Nolan played he got 3 Stanley Cups. Played a long time. Other than that, a lot of us have seen hockey from the highest level and the lowest, and we're just appreciate that people actually watch the show and have embraced it. So, I'm not trying to plug it, but I kind of am. If you guys are coming, if anybody's coming to the game tomorrow, you definitely won't be disappointed. We will sign each and every autograph.
See, I got to read something for you before you go. Hey guys, my daughter Natalia is a huge Shoresy fan. Unfortunately, I can't take her to the Illinois game tomorrow. She's bummed. It's her 16th birthday on Sunday. Would TR be able to wish her a happy birthday? Be greatly appreciated. From Nick, for his daughter Natalia. Sweet 16, TR.
Natalia, and of course, happy birthday, Natalia. Thanks for watching the show. And I didn't hear the first part. Did you say she's coming or not?
No, she can't come. She's bummed. So.
Oh, okay. Well, look, I appreciate that, and we'll try to get something signed for her. I'll see you tomorrow, and that's unfortunate she can't come, but we'll give her a little keepsake, and hopefully she can come next year.
All right. TR, have a good one, buddy. Stretch out. Oh, Strutty just texted me, said keep your head up. So,
I'm going right at him. That's it. We'll see. Although I'm playing defense because Hitch plays defense. So wow. I will.
Hey, buddy.
It won't be.
Cale McCarr and a few other guys play defense, and they still attack the other defenseman, right, with the puck. So feel free to jump up in the rush.
You got it. We'll just let the cards fall where they may. I'll see you, Strutty, and the rest of
just remember, TR.
Edmonton Shoresy fans tomorrow night.
Yeah, TR, as you get on the ice, just give your balls a tug and then go after Struds, okay?
I will set the tone, my friend.
Have a good one, buddy. Terry Ryan joins Tuesday, Thursday. So, they're in Calgary tonight for the Shoresy Tour, and then they'll be in Edmonton tomorrow night. Let's take a quick break. We will return. Here it's the Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca as Connor Unger will join us next. Great story about his career.
Hi, I'm Colin Livingston, president of Cantork. We've been tightening bolts and redefining our industry for 25 years. Yes, a quarter century, and we're just getting started. Check us out at cantork.com. Our tools age better than I do.
Whether you're a craft beer connoisseur or more of a wine aficionado, There's always something new to discover at Sherbrooke Liquor, a unique, family-owned, independent liquor store. The selection, incredible. The non-alcohol section is also very impressive. Sherbrooke Liquor, expert, knowledgeable staff with a passion for unique finds. More than just a liquor store, we're a community. Alberta's best, the one and only Sherbrooke Liquor. Wine, spirits, and oodles of beer. Visit SherbrookeLiquor.com.
Well, get ready for a silly hockey fans. Your partner in power just skated onto the ice.
EWEL.ca, the new e-commerce website for electrical wholesalers Edmonton, is ready for the power play 24/7, 365.
UL skates to where the puck will be in 5 years. Now that's forward thinking.
Killer selection, slamming products from the best brands, and legendary service.
Don't sit on the bench. Get your account today at EWEL.ca and win that project.
Plug into your partner in power. Get an EWEL.ca account today.
60 years ago, we started selling trucks as Western GMC Buick. Today, we are Wolf GMC Buick. We're still located on the corner of 184th Street and Stony Plain Road with the same ownership for over 2 decades. Our customers have trusted our family-owned, community-driven business. And for that, we are thankful. If you're looking for a truck or SUV, pop in and one of our seasoned professionals will get you a great deal, hassle-free. Come trust our team at Wolf GMC Buick. Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy.
Action Electrical Solar Team is now making a play for sustainability and savings. They're specialists in powering up for a greener future.
That's the strategy, designing and installing high-efficiency solar panels. They're helping homes and businesses combat rising utility costs by harnessing the power of the sun.
A smart move for efficiency and the environment. Hire the Action Electrical team to bring home a win for your project. Visit actionelectrical.net.
Do you listen to sports radio at work? Like right now? Well, do you?
Who, me? No way. I swear.
Okay, friend, we won't tell. Tens of thousands of sports fans listen to Sports 1440 each and every day. On the radio, on the listening apps, on YouTube, and on social media. If you listen to Sports 1440 at work, well, maybe it's time to advertise on Sports 1440 at work. Grow your business. Get your name out there. Shoot our ad team an email. Gregor at sports1440.ca. Let's get to work for you.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Sherbrooke Liquor, the best place for wine, cocktails, and beers from all over the world. Also a variety of excellent non-alcoholic options. See more at SherbrookeLiquor.com.
This is Sports 1440, where Edmonton talks sports.
On YouTube, Facebook, and X.
Here's Jason Gregor.
Brought to you by PlayAlberta.ca.
Connor Halley, Declan Kruger. It is Thursday afternoon. Man, the week is flying by. Oilers taking on the Penguins tonight. Of course, then they got the Capitals on Saturday. And, we are going to get to the oil report now, brought to you by goauto.ca, where you can shop over 15,000 vehicles at goauto.ca, 31 new vehicle brands, and 76 locations for you. So anywhere you go, get a great deal. GoAuto.ca. And I always like stories, man. Like, I love stories that are maybe a little unexpected. Everybody's path to success is extremely different from one to the other. And our next guest has had a very unique path to get to the American Hockey League. And obviously for him, he's hoping that's not his last step on the rung of the ladder, to keep going higher and higher. Connor Unger, of course, played in the AJHL, spent parts of 4 seasons in the WHL, then spent a year in U Sport in Brock, then signed his pro deal, spent last year in the ECHL. This year started in the ECHL, played for 3 different teams, and had a ridiculous 944 save percentage on all 3 teams. Actually, it was 944, 944, and 945. Crazy. And then he gets called up to the Bakersfield Condors and is 6-0 with a 955 save percentage. He joins us now. Connor, welcome to the show, man. How you doing?
Good. How are you doing?
Well, buddy, I'm not as good as you. This is this. I love the career path, man. Like hockey is a late developing sport in general, and goaltenders seem to be more of it. Like you seem to fall into that. When I look at your career path, you're someone who's just continually gotten better and better, even into like your late teens, early 20s. Kind of take me through the path and what's led to the resiliency and never wanted to give up. Because I'm sure there was probably times where you said, maybe I should think about something else, or somebody might have said to you, maybe you should think of a different path.
Yeah, maybe someone else saying that, but I never, for me, it's always been hockey. I've never, questioned my ability to do it. Right. So I never had any, I never thought about anything else, but yeah, it definitely, I think goaltending maybe takes a bit longer, but I think, from my perspective, I just I kept playing the game, kept learning, kept growing, and just kept getting better ultimately. So I think that's, that's kind of what it's been like.
The journey from the WHL out to Brock University. Why Brock University?
Yeah, to be completely honest, they were just the only team that not promised, but basically said you're going to play every game.
Okay.
And
yep.
I knew that if I wanted to move on from there, I needed that, right? You can't, youth sports, you only play 30 games. I knew if I needed, I couldn't get away with playing 15. I needed somewhere where I was going to play 25 plus. I just felt like it was a good fit ultimately because of the ice time that was going to be available.
Yeah, well, it obviously was the right decision, man. You gotta go and have a good sense of what do I need to do to play. And it's right about goalies. Defensemen and forwards, you're playing every game, regardless of minutes. You're playing every game. And for a goalie, if you're splitting time, it's hard. It's just going to, in theory, probably take you longer, to find your way. And then you go from there to the Fort Wayne Comets in the ECHL. You kind of got to split duty your first year, 35 games, pretty much almost split right down the middle. What did you learn the first year in the ECHL that's helped you for this season?
I think it was just, maybe learning the schedule a little bit. It's obviously a pretty grueling schedule with a lot of 3-and-3s. Guys are bigger, stronger, but I think just seeing different situations. Obviously their situations are different in pro, a lot more traffic, it's faster. So you just kind of have to, adapt and read those different situations. I think that's the biggest thing is I just saw a lot of situations that I hadn't seen before. And I think coming into this year, I knew what to expect a little bit. And that ultimately I think's helped.
Connor, I think it's fair to say from an outsider's point of view, you can handle adversity. It doesn't get you kind of off your game at all. There's not many guys who are going to play for 3 different teams in a span of 11 games. And that's how you had to start the season. You were with Fort Wayne, then with Greensboro, and then with Orlando Solar Bears. Kind of take me through those conversations. And were you aware that when you went down to the ECHL that might be your path?
Yeah. It's kind of, it's maybe a bit, it's kind of funny to like look at it now and when you kind of read it out like that, but in the moment, it doesn't quite feel like that. You're just like, I didn't know I was going to play for, 3 different teams, right? You go to Greensboro first and you're like, okay, I'm here. You play there. And then obviously Fort Wayne had an injury. So then they're like, okay, we need you back at Fort Wayne. So then it's just like, okay, I'm going here. You're not like thinking you're going to, so then I just kind of was like, I'm in Greensboro. Okay. Now I'm in Fort Wayne. And then, obviously the Orlando one was just funny having a third one on there, but, they had kind of said like, Orlando's going to, give you a good opportunity for the rest of the year. So that was kind of, so then I was like, okay, I'm in Orlando and this is where I'm at now. And then, you get the news you're going to Bakersfield and then it's just, you're just very happy and grateful. You're like, okay, great. I can't wait. So it's a little, it's comedy to kind of look at it now and be like, oh, well, 4 teams, but yeah, in the moment, you're just going to play. And I think that's what's, helped me and through the whole process and kind of enjoyed it is just taking a new challenge on for what it is and not, there's no reason to feel down. Like I was playing well in all the spots, right? So
Yeah.
it's like, okay, new team, like, let's go play well here. And just not overthinking anything, just going out and play.
Well, Connor, doing more than well. And the crazy part is you start in Greensboro, you play 4 games, you have a .945 save percentage. Then you go to Fort Wayne, you play 2 games, you have a .944 save percentage. Then you go to Orlando, 5 games, .944 save percentage. Like, because sometimes people will talk about, the environment in front of a goalie matters, and it does for sure, but it didn't seem to matter to you. 3 different teams, there's no way they're playing the exact same system, and they're not exactly the same defensively, and you didn't change at all. And then you come up to the American League, and you're 6-0, and you got a .955, and it's a tougher league for sure. From outside, you've made the transition look so smooth. How have you made it look so smooth so far coming up to the A?
I think honestly, not paying attention to the statistics at all, right? I was just pretty driven this year to, focus on the process over the results, really. Like, I knew, maybe in previous years, everyone pays attention to numbers and stats, and ultimately you need that to move on. But that can be a distraction at times. I felt like there was maybe times last year where it was a distraction for me. So, it was kind of a goal of mine this year to not let that be a distraction. And just as long as I felt like I was playing well in the games and worrying about what actually mattered, you kind of just have to believe that the stats will take care of themselves. And, so far they have this year. So I don't want to, change what I'm doing. I just want to keep focusing on, what matters, and that's practices and just trusting the process.
Well, it's definitely work, Connor. And, you said that you've improved as a goalie. How do you feel you've improved personally, regardless of who you're playing for? Like, is there something specific about your game that you wanted to improve on, that you put maybe a major focus on in the offseason?
I think it was, like, obviously there's little tactical aspects, like, your skating and your hands and your puck handling, like small stuff like that. But I think the biggest change was just was more mental than anything.
Okay.
Like, really, like, calming my, like, it's hard to explain, but you're in practice and you're doing great in practice, and you're like, okay, why am I, like, so good in practice? And then, like, I'll give up one in the game that I'm like, man, if this is practice, I would have had. And I think it was just more the demeanor. Like, I was almost too I don't know if anxious is the right word, but I was just, like, too excited to play the game. And,
yep.
You get a little bit, too sporadic. And I think this year I've done a good job of, mentally maybe slowing it down a little bit, and, like, taking myself more to, like, the practice mentality of being more calm and more relaxed and less sporadic. And I think that's honestly been a big change for me, is just, really treating games more like practices, and calming and being aware of when, okay, maybe I'm getting a little nervous and just bringing myself back to that calm place. Like you have in practice, because you're not nervous in practice, right? It's practice.
Yep.
So really trying to put emphasis on that, I think, has been, helped me as well.
It's interesting you say that, because so many goalies I talk to say it's more the mental part of the game. Because lots of goalies, 25, 26 is, we see a lot of guys start to have success at 25 and 26. And a lot of them say it's just more the mental side of the game. You become a little bit more mentally mature, and mature doesn't mean that you were immature mentally before, but you're learning more about it. Hey, you know what? I gotta just, focus on a different thing, and getting excited is a good thing, but not if it gets you too excited or nervous. And I never really heard that viewpoint of, hey, let's just treat the game like practice, and because I'm not nervous in practice, but it makes sense.
And, like, it's easier said than done too, right?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like everyone always says that, but it just takes reps. Like, you can say, like, oh, like, coach can say, I'll just pretend it's a practice all he wants, but ultimately you need reps in the games to learn. And I think, that's kind of talking about our point, is like, it just, goalies mature later because they need those reps and just to figure it out a little bit mentally and whatnot. So, I think that's why you see, maybe goalies develop a little bit later.
Connor Unger joins us, of course, having a great start to with the Bakersfield Condors, 6-0 with the Condors. They're red hot. They're 9-1. They moved up to 2 points out of first place in their division. And Connor, you played for 2 teams in 2019, 2 teams in 20, and then you have 3 years in a row, different team in Brandon, Red Deer, and Moose Jaw, then to Brock, then to Fort Wayne, now 4 different teams this year. Were you always someone that could, easily fit into different rooms? And how has that maybe been a test of your personality? Always getting a new goalie partner, new teammates all the time.
Yeah. It's kind of funny when, you read the EP and you're like, wow, this guy's played on a lot of teams. It's just kind of funny how it's worked out like that. But I think I've always been a guy that can fit in any locker room. And, I'd say I'm pretty easygoing.
Okay.
That's just kind of, roll with the punches and go with the flow. So I think that's maybe been you look back and when you look at how many teams I played on and you're like, okay, maybe that is a strength. And, but just being I think my personality is easy to get along with. So I think there's been no trouble for me to, fit into different places, but yeah, it is kind of funny to look back and be like, I haven't played on the same team 2 years in a row.
Hey, it's obviously worked for you. And like I said at the top, everybody's path is different. Your team, you come to the Condors and, you join the team at the right time. You're playing great. The team's playing great. They're 9-1. And now your goal, you had a shutout, in your last 4 starts, I think you've only allowed 3 goals, if I'm not mistaken. And then Matt Tompkins goes back-to-back shutouts. And I know that goalies, they got to be each other's biggest cheerleader when you have a good tandem. And so, there's a fun competition there. But how are you when you have like Matt Tompkins, like when you're playing a game and it's the second period or halfway through the third, you got a shutout. Do the goalies ever talk to each other about it? Or is that just like, we never mention that word when they're like at TV timeouts and stuff?
Oh yeah, never when the game's going on. But no, we talk a lot after the game and stuff, and games good or bad, we'll talk about it. Kind of what we noticed about that team we played, and there's great dialogue between both of us, and he's I feel like I'm playing well, he's playing great, team's playing really well, so it's a lot of fun right now, to be honest. Like, the vibes are great, and I think everyone's just pretty determined to, keep this thing rolling as far as we can. So, he's been spectacular the last couple games, and the team's got a ton of confidence, and it's fun to be a part of. So I'm just, right now really grateful for the opportunity to be here, and super excited for the weekend coming up.
Are you superstitious at all?
I have my routine I like to stick to, but if something doesn't work out or I miss something within the routine, it's not gonna throw me off.
Okay.
And that's something that I think is important, because at the end of the day, you have your routine, and a routine's great to like get you to that place you need to be, but no day's going to be exactly the same or this or that. And some things are out of control. So, I make it a point to never let something that's out of my control affect the way I'm going to play. Right.
Okay. So you're not like, because some goalies some players too are extremely superstitious, and when their teammates find out about it, they like to try to have fun with it. If a certain guy likes to have whatever, and they, you hide it on the guy for a second, because you're right, you can't, if how you put on your pads changes how you play, you probably have a problem.
Yeah, exactly. Like I'm trying to think, to be honest. Like, sometimes I'll eat the same thing. Sometimes I don't. Like, I don't, always eat the exact same thing necessarily. Because, on the road, sometimes we get like different things, right? So you can't always control that. And as far as routines go, like, I like to have my nap, but if for whatever day it's an earlier game and the nap's got to be a little shorter, like, that's not gonna throw me off or anything. So I'd say I'm very routine oriented, and I like to stick to my routine. But if something doesn't work out that day or something's got to change, it's not gonna affect the way I play.
I noticed this year you've worn number 31, number 32, number 35, and number 40. So obviously you don't care, but that's awesome. 4 different numbers in 1 year. Do you have a favorite number to wear as a goalie?
Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, at the start of the year, I would have told you 32, but I mean, I'm playing well in 40, so man, I don't know anymore. But yeah, I mean, obviously, Jonathan Quick was my favorite goalie growing up, so that's kind of the idea behind 32. So obviously, started the year with 32. You go to Greensboro and they don't have a 32, so then you got to I wore 35, I think there.
Yeah.
So then you wear 35 in Greensboro. I mean, yeah, you can't let the number affect the way you're going to play, right? That's again like that's out of my control. They didn't have a 32, and then back to Fort Wayne, they did have the 32, so I wore that. And then in Orlando, Gillies was wearing 32, so then I had to go 31, and it was kind of just given to me. And then in Bakersfield here, 40 was kind of the only option, so had to wear that, and I'm kind of liking 40, to be honest.
Well, dude, you're 6-0. You got 955 save percentage. You got to ride it while you can, so it makes a lot of sense.
Exactly.
Awesome. Well, Connor, thanks so much for this, man. Best of luck, continued success, not only for you but for your team as you guys look to climb all the way to first place. Best of luck.
Yeah, awesome. Cool, thank you.
You betcha. There's Connor Unger. A great interview, man. I love his attitude. It's just kind of laid back, but that is awesome. How many guys, first of all, will play in 4 different teams in a year, number one, and he's wearing 4 different numbers. I love it. It's not affecting him at all. Like, his numbers are great, and hopefully it continues, and he could be one of those kind of surprise stories that every organization needs at different times. So we'll see where it goes, but continued success for him. Take a quick break. When we return, we're going to talk about some unique pitchers to get to. Also, upcoming race and more on the Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
Oodle Noodle Origins. In 1864, Francis Oodle took over his dying father's business as a leatherman. He was quite proficient, but his heart was never truly in the trade. After his father's death, Oodle met a cocksure young man named Vladimir Nudel, who was a trailblazer in the popular new art of food boxes. They formed a partnership and aimed to ply their trade in the new world. At Ellis Island, Nudel was renamed David Noodle, and henceforth, the franchise has been known as Oodle Noodle.
Hi, Mike here from Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. Happy New Year! I just wanted to take a moment to say thank you. Thank you for everything in 2025. With your help and your support, we fed almost 500 families. We donated to various charities in the Edmonton area, and we're going to do it again in 2026. Please stop in and see us today, 13215 97th Street, or visit us online at northgategm.com.
You're in Northgate country.
And now Action Electrical's testing team is on defense duty. They're the guardians of safety and compliance, a critical part of any lineup.
Precisely. They perform rigorous safety and code compliance testing for commercial operations. Think of them as the referees, ensuring everything is up to standard before disaster strikes.
Their preventative plays are legendary, spotting faults early. Hire the Action Electrical team to bring home a win for your project. Visit actionelectrical.net.
This Sunday, it's high-impact family fun that's second to none.
See Oil Rumble 3, an afternoon of wrestling in Ice District. Catch all the slap shots and suplexes as your Edmonton Oil Kings battle the Saskatoon Blades.
It's Family Fun Sunday with face painting, bouncy castles, plus pregame and intermission Love Pro Wrestling matches.
And Calamont Kids food combos are $10 or less. Value that hits harder than a steel folding chair.
Edmonton, Saskatoon, Family Fun Sunday, and Oil Rumble at Rogers Place.
Great seats at Rogers Place start at only $20 at oilkings.ca.
Jason Gregor isn't just a sports guy. He's a community builder with over $3 million raised for local charities.
And his Gregor Foundation,
He's making a difference on and off the air. Check out Gregor weekday afternoons on Sports 1440.
Scott McGilvery here, HGTV host and renovation expert. The one upgrade I know homeowners will love: better, fresher Culligan water straight from the tap. Culligan's Aquasential reverse osmosis filtration system takes your water to the next level. With up to 7 stages of filtration and 14 filter options, they're certified to reduce over 90 contaminants. Your tap water is about to get a major upgrade. Safer water that tastes great. Get started with a free in-home water test at Culligan.com. Culligan, water you love.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Riverside Honda, 59 years and counting, a St. Albert and surrounding areas premier Honda and Can-Am dealer. It's your dream. Ride it at riversidehonda.com.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
$350. Welcome back. Jason Gregor, Connor Howling, Sports 1440, sports1440.ca. It's the Gregor Show, as always, brought to you by PlayAlberta.ca, where you can try your luck. And remember, it's the daily grand, $1,000 a day for the next 20 years. Get your tickets, PlayAlberta.ca. It's time to get to the racing report, brought to you by Cantork. Made in Canada, made for Canada, where extreme isn't theoretical. Find your solution at Cantork.com, making the world a better place, one lug nut at a time. Colin Livingston joins us in studio. Colin, how you doing?
Man, that sounds so much better when you say it than when I first wrote it. I like that. I mean, we might have to do that a couple of times ahead, like where I can't even remember what it is. Where rugged just isn't theoretical. What did we say?
Yeah. That's what it was.
Yeah,
oh.
That's not bad.
It's not bad at all. Not bad at all. A few things to discuss. Now, the first big race of 2026 is the Daytona 500. And I know you've been there, but also the Rolex 24. One of the most difficult races to do, even more difficult for a spotter, because that track, is it just simply because is it like the Montreal Forum of spotters? Like you're in another area code?
It's way, way, way more complicated than that. Like if you're in the forum and you're at the catwalk, you're just looking down. The play is a little bit further away, but you can use binoculars.
Oh.
But when you're spotting at Daytona, the cars, first of all, they'll go in every direction from you. So in 1 minute, they're coming towards you, they're going away from you, they're going to the right, they're going to the left, and they're going everywhere in between because they use the road course at Daytona International.
Mm-hmm.
But as nightfall hits, all you can really see, like the really good teams and the really high budget teams, they put little indicators on their car. So their lights will be a certain shade, but they'll put a certain LED lighting around the number panel, or they'll put something on the top of the windshield so the spotter knows that that's their car.
Okay.
We didn't have that, and a lot of teams don't have that. So you really only get to watch the headlights, which is great when you can see the headlights. But as the car's driving away, it gets really complicated. Throw in that, a lot of these, a buddy of mine that's down there, he spots with us in NASCAR Canada. He's going to be working with 3 cars during the race. So one of the teams, they run cars in a bunch of different classes. He's going to be spotting 3 cars, obviously not at the same time. That's impossible. But that means he's going to be doing multiple stints back to back to back. So you start, I can't remember what time the race starts. It's like 2:00 in the afternoon. The longest I did a triple stint. So I started at I think I started at about 8:00 at night or something like that. When Tag got in the car, he did a double stint. I did a quad stint. I went through Connor Daly afterwards. And then our last driver, Chris Cummins, got in the car. And it was at 3:00 or 4:00 in the morning. Chris made a mistake coming out of the bus stop, just got the car a bit loose, fenced it, and our night was over. But I was spotting for something like 6 or 8 straight hours. And it wasn't so much the consecutive time, it was the fact that I was exhausted. We would get a caution period. So cautions at these sports car races tend to last a long time. They're, 5 to 10 minutes, no matter what the incident is, because it takes a long time to get everything cleaned up. And I was hallucinating through the middle of the night. I was kind of sitting in my perch, and there's a Ferris wheel, but I started to see some lights, and I kept thinking, what did they just move in? And then I'd kind of move my head, and there was nothing there. I'm like, oh man, but then we'd go back to racing. I'd wake back up and I'd be super alert. And then in that downtime, my mind just started going because I was, I've been up almost 24 hours and such a high degree of concentration to follow the car. But once you get to night and the cars are going around and you start to kind of get, it's almost like getting snowblind, but not really. That we were inside at the top of Daytona. So we were kind of in the media center because it was so blessed cold that night. I mean, it was probably like 8 degrees or something and a bit windy. So we're staying inside, and as the lights are above us and as we're trying to watch the cars, like there would be a bug that would kind of fly by that would catch the light and it would look like a headlight. And when it's hard not to chase that with your eyes while you're trying to focus. And then there's a point of the night where they cook off fireworks in the middle of the race.
Yes.
And then there's the Ferris wheel. And I think I sent you the picture of me that we finished at like 4:00 in the morning. I had Alex's rental car. I went to the hotel. I think I put my head on the pillow about 4:30, and he started calling me at 6:00 in the morning saying he needed his car because he had to go back to the airport. I'm like, come and get it. He's like, no, you got to bring it back. So I woke up and I kind of looked in the mirror. I'm like it looks like I went on a 5-day bender, but it was just,
which we both know you couldn't handle. So yeah, that's definitely okay.
Absolutely could not ever do that. But I just snapped a picture in the mirror, and like when people want to know what Daytona looks like in the 24, that's what it looks like. Well, we can put those up later on.
Well, it is unique because there's 4 different classes of car. They're separated by almost 12 seconds per lap. It's very different. It's, it's got a lot. If you're a racing fan, it's a pretty unique thing.
Yeah.
Some changes coming up in F1, and this one, I don't think it's a surprise, but it's like a demotion. So I wonder, like, why not just fire the guy? So Lewis Hamilton's going to have a new engineer for Ferrari for the upcoming year. Ricardo Adami, he's been moved to their driver academy. And I know you had pointed out, because we talked about this during the last year, kind of like, he never seems to answer the question that Lewis would have. Like the few times that you could, because if you're listening if you're watching the certain broadcast, they'll type in, now you got the engineer and they're talking to the driver and you can hear the conversation. And I remember you came in and you're like, he doesn't answer his question. Like, he doesn't really give him the information that the driver wants.
Yeah.
So, which is odd. Is it because he thought, like, I know more than the driver, he shouldn't be asking me? What do you think went on there? Because obviously at the end of the day, they realized this is not sustainable, so they got rid of him.
The world of Formula One tends to be full of people who are opportunists. So if this question is presented to the Ralph Schumacher, Martin Brundle, even a Johnny Herbert, they tend to take this as a grandstanding position and why things are so bad and how I think plain and simply, Adami and Hamilton just had different styles. And the life of an engineer is very busy. Like, they're obviously working through strategy, but they've got people that are talking to them on the engineering team, and they've got people that are talking to them back in Maranello, and they've got all kinds of input that he wasn't really focused on the driver. He was focused on really the car side of things. And for Lewis and for any driver, when they're asking a question, they basically need an immediate answer. And that's not to say that they're prissy or pretentious, but you're doing all of your calculations in the car in real time. You want to know, what the sector time is of somebody in front of you. You want to know whatever you want to know. You want that answer immediately. And I think their styles just weren't compatible. And I think, and obviously they didn't have any chemistry whatsoever. Like, you could have, if you watch Formula One for any amount of time, Lewis was with Peter Bonington at Mercedes. They were one of the best driver engineer combinations ever. Max and GP, they've got a really, really good relationship. They fight on the radio, but it never gets to the point that when they're out of the car, you ever see them kind of getting, it's the adrenaline of the competition that they kind of get after each other's throats. The question is, who's going to replace them, and who's going to get put in there? Because it seems like Ferrari really likes to make the decisions about everything. And I don't know how much they actually consult their drivers. They kind of go, it seems like they go out, look for who they think the best engineer is going to be, put them in, and then say, here's who you're going to work with, instead of kind of going to the driver and saying, okay, out of these available candidates, who do you think the best choice for you would be? And, keep the drivers involved. They've got the same issue with Charles in a lot of cases, that he's asking a lot of questions or he wants a certain strategy, and they just say, no, we're going to do it this way. And as a team, that's their prerogative. If your number one objective is to win, you might want to, consider the opinion of the driver. Yes, I just about swore. There's a lot of technology in these cars, and they can see an awful lot. And there's like some of the smartest people on the planet are analyzing the data to come up with a theory. But the driver is still one of the most important telemetry devices you have, because they feel it. They can anticipate it. They feel how the whole transition has happened. And a lot of these F1 teams seem to be going away from the drivers as a valuable source of information. Like Red Bull is almost entirely built around the telemetry of Max Verstappen and what his feedback is, and they do a great job around him. But some of these other teams, they're just like, you're just a walking prop.
Quickly going back to Daytona and all the different classes, is there one class that you watch closer, like whether it's the Grand Touring one, the Le Mans prototype, the Daytona Pro, the Grand Touring Daytona? Is there one that you like better?
I like the prototypes for sure. They're the top of the food chain.
Okay.
These are run exclusively by professional drivers. This is where the guys like Scott Dixon usually run. The former F1 drivers get in there. This is the big money. These are factory teams. This is like the latest technology that comes out from the car manufacturers. They're always fun to watch. And I love the closing rate of, a prototype coming up on a GTD Pro. Like, again, 12 seconds on a minute and 50-second lap doesn't sound like a lot, but, it's like when you're, driving down 170th Street and there's somebody on a bike, like you come up on them so quick, and you've got to have that reaction. But that's what makes it really cool, because there's cars that look like they belong on the street, and then there's these prototypes that look like they're on their way to space. It's so grueling, like to keep the car running at peak performance for 24 hours, to keep the crews, a lot of the crew guys, they'll take little naps, but they have to be ready all the time. The drivers, you cycle through 4 drivers. So you really generally only get one stint where you're truly able to relax, because you have to be kind of at the pit box in the stint before you get in the car. So you have to be kind of watching what's happening and get an understanding of the flow. Driver comes in, he jumps out of the car, the next driver gets in, then you have to stick around and kind of help debrief through the next stint. So these guys even the drivers don't get a lot of rest. But yeah, just an absolutely awesome event. And I think if I looked, but I never found a definitive answer, this should be streamed for free on YouTube. So you can jump on, for 24 straight hours and watch this.
Awesome stuff, Collins. Good to talk to you again, buddy. We'll talk to you next Thursday.
Let's go, Shorzy.
There you go. There's you'll be going tomorrow night.
Yes, sir.
Let's go. Let's get to the Con Man and a Sports 1440 update brought to you by Fountain Tire, where Fountain Tire, more than just tires. Wheels, oil changes, vehicle repairs, they got you covered. FountainTire.com.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
Game day is Edmonton Oilers welcome the Pittsburgh Penguins to town. Puck drop just after 7 o'clock. Our pregame coverage with Andrew Walker gets going at 6 here on Sports 1440. Elsewhere on the NHL, Golden Knights in Boston, Canadiens up against the Sabres, Chicago heading to Carolina, Jackets host the Stars. You got the Sens and the Preds, Jets, Panthers, and the Red Wings in Minnesota. In the association, heading going at 5, match goes the Hornets, the Rockets in Philly, Wizards taking on the Nuggets. Warriors meet the Mavs, Timberwolves, Bulls, Spurs up against the Jazz, the Lakers meet the Clippers in Inglewood, and Trailblazers taking on the Miami Heat. The Baltimore Ravens are hiring former Chargers defensive coordinator Jesse Minter as their next head coach. Minter spent time with the Ravens organization from 2017 to 2020, before coaching with Vanderbilt and Michigan at the college level, then joining the Chargers as a defensive coordinator in 2024. and one game in the PWHL, Toronto and Vancouver. That gets going just after 8 o'clock. Coming up in hour 3 of the Jason Gregor Show, we'll ask 5 questions, hear Cam Tate's 2-minute warning, and be joined by Dan Kongursky of Pittsburgh Hockey Now. I'm Connor Halley. This has been a Sports 1440 update.
Sports 1440, Stingray radio station. CKJR broadcasts from West Edmonton Mall and Wetaskiwin.
Download the free Stingray music app and listen wherever you go.
New Year's resolutions. We all make them. We all say we're going to start eating healthier or going to the gym or starting that new hobby. But at GS Construction, we actually follow through on our New Year's resolution because it's the same every year. We promise to set the groundwork, literally, for another year of progress and growth. And we've stuck by that resolution since 1974. So start that all-you-can-eat diet. GS Construction is going to start planning right now for the year ahead. For more on what we do, visit gsconstruction.ca.
Hear ye, hear ye. Dragon fruit has returned to Booster Juice. Prepare thyself for the legendary alchemy of the Dragon Slayer smoothie, Pink Dragon Booster Mixer, and Dragon Booster Ball. Does the dragon taste like chicken? Hey, Booster Juice uses only delicious tropical dragon fruit. No dragons are harmed. Get thee to Booster Juice before dragon fruit vanishes once more.
Booster Juice, Canadian-born, blending since 1999.
Hey, Edmonton, did you know a local Play Alberta winner scored over $500,000 on Mega Jackpot's Ocean Bells? Think about the season tickets you could lock down with that kind of cash. From major casino winners every hour to jackpots worth millions and hundreds of popular games to money that stays in the province.
3 o'clock.
Never been
Gregor,
a better time to
Halley,
sign
Sports
up for
1440,
Play Alberta.
Sports 4.
Download the app today to get started with casino, sports, and lottery all in one app. Must be 18 plus to play. When you gamble, use your game sense.
A huge thank you.
Whether you're a
Sports 1440, the most listened to sports radio station in Edmonton. From Gregor to Carius to Lowtie,
just
we've
flying
got
by.
in-depth analysis
Show
on
present
all
by
your
Club.
favorite sports. We are Sports 1440.
Sports 1440,
Silent
Sports
Rides
14.
is one of Alberta's premier specialty charter companies. With our luxury motor coaches, we provide our customers with the safest and most reliable ground transportation services. Our seatbelt equipped, top-of-the-line motor coaches have become the preferred carrier for many local sports teams, tours, corporate outings, and other various travel needs across Western Canada. For more information and to request a quote, contact sales at 877-748-0991 or visit silentrides.ca.
The job isn't done until the last load is hauled, and having a semi-trailer out of commission is not an option. Whether replacing or adding to your convoy, Edmonton Trailer has a huge inventory of new and used semi-trailers, trusted by the gravel, logging, oil field, fluids, and freight industries. Find a trailer right for you online or at one of their 3 locations. For sales, service, parts, rental, and finance, when you're in it for the long haul, Edmonton Trailer.
Does your New Year's resolution include saving money? Then don't miss the store-wide inventory clearance at the Brick. Save up to 70% off in-store clearance items. Buy more, save more on bedroom and dining furniture. Up to 25% off. Save on select major kitchen appliances. Plus, buy 2 or more and save the tax. Finally, a resolution you can keep. The Brick, saving you more. Some exclusions apply. See in-store for details.
New year, new me, right? How about a resolution you'll actually enjoy?
5th January, resolve to get a better ride at Miss Q4. It's the New Year, New Ride event. Leave last year's vehicle in the rear view mirror and start 2026 in a brand new Ford. Get rebates as high as $10,000 or choose interest rates as low as 0%. Now that's a resolution you can stick to. Visit Nisku Ford today or browse our new inventory at nisqford.ca. Above expectations.
Across rural Alberta, volunteers and community groups work hard to make life better for their neighbors, creating new playgrounds, better rinks, and gathering places that bring us together. Vision Credit Union is proud to lend these local heroes a helping hand. Apply today for a Helping Hand grant up to $10,000 to support your community's next big idea. Let's make great things happen together. Applications are open until January 31st, 2026. Learn more at whatsyourshare.ca.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Culligan for all your residential water needs. Your local water treatment company, more than just big bottles, Culligan.com.
This is Sports 1440, where Edmonton talks sports.
On YouTube, Facebook, and X.
Here's Jason Gregor.
Brought to you by PlayAlberta.ca.
For 11, Jason Gregor, Connor Halley, Sports 1440, sports1440.ca, YouTube, Facebook, X, Instagram. Hope you're having a lovely Thursday as the Oilers take on the Pittsburgh Penguins tonight. Tristan Jarry will face his former team. Stuart Skinner played last night in Calgary, and looks like he'll be getting the night off. Nothing official yet, but it's rare in today's day and age that goalies play on consecutive nights. I guess they could do it, but they've basically been rotating around back and forth between him and Sheloff for the most part. So I would guess that's probably going to continue tonight. But until it's official, I guess there's a chance. But I would be quite surprised if indeed Stuart Skinner played tonight against the Edmonton Oilers. Oilers just, and honestly, if it's a Sheloff, that's better for Edmonton because Skinner has been excellent lately for the Pittsburgh Penguins. And the Oilers just need a win. They don't need to face their former teammate. They need a win on home ice. It would be beneficial. Got to take advantage of it. And they haven't as of late. So we're going to get to the 2-minute warning in a bit. It is the Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca. Some interesting stories. You see the Russian Hockey Federation has taken the IIHF to court because they want to get back in playing in international events, and IIHF is saying no. So that'll be interesting to see where it goes. Also, report that Seattle is looking for a top 6 winger and might trade Shane Wright. And I'm kind of like, what? Not saying you can't trade Shane Wright, no problem. But look at the age. Look at the Seattle Kraken. Look where they're at. They're currently, I know they're in a wild card spot, tied with San Jose, tied with LA. A few points up on Nashville. Now, that, I don't know, maybe I have a different viewpoint of that organization than they do, but I just don't see like where they're going to go. Now, maybe Shane Wright's never going to be more than what he is. It's very plausible. And, I don't know how much he would command, but you have Jaden Schwartz, Jordan Eberle. I think could get you a good return right now. There'd be a lot of teams that are looking for a top 6 forward. He's having a solid season. He's 35 years of age. Seattle's got to get younger. If they're going to add a veteran and trade away Shane Wright, right, who's still got another year in his entry level deal because he was like Bouchard, right? His first year was a slide. He got to play in the AHL, but it didn't count as an part of his ELC. So it's a benefit to them because he went and signed that contract and then when he played. But man, if you're going to move off of Shane Wright for another older forward, I'm kind of like, what are they doing? That would be a very, very odd decision, I would think personally for me. So we'll see. Let's get to Tater. 2-minute warning brought to you by Legacy Heating and Cooling, where the rates never change, no overtime charges. That's how you build a legacy at legacyheating.ca. Cam Tate, of course, a longtime journalist in town. Cam, born with cerebral palsy. Cam's in wheelchairs. Never let him slow him down. He's always wanted to be on radio. And now his words come to life in the 2-minute warning.
10 seconds. That's all you get. 10 seconds. Not 9. No. Not 11. 10. Got that? Over there, Gregor. 10. Let's say you saw Stuart Skinner today for Hands in the Air. 10 seconds. And be darned, you lost your phone or left it in the car. So taking a picture is out of the question. And nobody carries a pen these days, do they? Nobody. Not even sports writers. And Skinner, he's in a hurry, but he'll share 10 seconds with you. What would you tell Skinner, the former Edmonton Oilers goalie, traded to the Pittsburgh Penguins, who are in Edmonton tonight to face the Oilers? Skinner, player last night in Pittsburgh's 4-1 in Calgary. So what do we do when we need a few answers? Put it in on X, of course. So we asked. If you had 10 seconds with Stuart Skinner today and today only, what would you ask them? Well, Connor Halley, we now have the results. There was a new 993 votes. 0.9% said, I really didn't mean, well, you figure out the rest. 6.9% said, wish you were still here. 36.9% would say, I wish you best wishes in Pittsburgh. 55.7% would say, thank you for being an Oiler. 2-minute warning, Gregor, Halley, Kruger, who told me his bank phoned this morning offering more overdraft, to which he said, sure, I like every kind of beer. And me, I'm Tater. Sports, 1440.
What would I would say this. The vast majority of people talk infinitely tougher on social media than they ever would face to face. You know it. I know it. Probably have friends. You see how they post to anonymous people online. They're like 1/10 of that aggressiveness in real life. So do I think people would walk up to Stuart Skinner and be like, oh yeah, you suck? No, they wouldn't. Right? They'd fanboy or fangirl and be all nice to their face. Right? Still might trash talking behind his back. And I think most fans would say, hey, good luck. Thanks. Good run. I got the Stanley Cup final. The runs were great. The ending, obviously less than stellar. But the runs were highly entertaining. And after many years of never having a sniff, to me, that's better than the alternative. No question. You want to have a goalie? Oh, yeah, we really like him. It's good, but we're out in the playoffs all the time. That probably wouldn't be great. I wouldn't think. So we'll see. 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. Hey, guys, when's Draisaitl returning? And when he does Nugent Hopkins stay at center of the wing? Well, Nugent Hopkins is back on the wing, at least based on practice yesterday with McDavid and Hyman. And maybe that's for the fact that they, you look at it, they had it's weird. You went from you scored no goals against the Islanders, then you scored 11 goals, then you scored 1 goal against the Devils. So probably like to be somewhere in between. Hey, can we score 3, 4? That'd be nice. So I think they'll go back to it with McDavid and Nugent Hopkins. Now, that doesn't mean that one of those guys can't play with Savoy and Howard at different times. Right? I think there's lots of different options, although Roslovic was skating with them. And then you had Podkolzin and Frederick didn't have the regular center iceman. They actually had Alec Regula skating with them in practice. He's obviously not going to play there. He's going to dress tonight, but he's not going to play forward. Don't have anybody thinking he's going to play forward. It's not going to happen. At least not early. Now, what if you got up 6-1? Could you do it for fun? Maybe, but probably, still question if that would actually occur. So we'll see. But Draisaitl not playing tonight. Not 100% yet that he'll be there for Saturday. I think there's flights and what's going on with the family. I'd say decent chance, not for sure, but decent chance that he would play Saturday against the Washington Capitals, and obviously that would be a huge boost. The Pittsburgh Penguins are not a team for the Oilers to take lightly. The Penguins in their last 15 games have been one of the best teams in the National Hockey League at 10-3-2. Outscoring teams 56-36. They really buckled down defensively. Top 3 defensive team in the NHL in that span. So the Oilers cannot now. The good news is that Skinner's numbers compared to Shilov's numbers in that time are much better. And so the Oilers are probably enjoying the fact that, hey, we're getting on paper anyway, the goalie who's been less successful. right? Because Skinner has a 922 and a 1.89 goals against in his 8 games, whereas Sheloff has an 896 and a 2.64. So basically, points, 3/4 of a game more goal against per game, and a save percentage of 0.26 higher for Skinner. Sheloff's has won 4 of 7. Skinner's won 6 of 8. So it's been better, no question. And the Oilers have had success against Sheloff's before. The one area we know that he struggles with a bit are long shots with the screen. So are the Oilers going to converge around the net? We'll see. We'll come back. We will talk about the Penguins. Are we going to see Chris Letang? Are we going to see Erik Karlsson? Both sat out last night. Karlsson was yesterday. There was a good chance he was going to play today. We'll see if that comes to fruition. Find out about Letang, who was he was questionable yesterday. Obviously didn't go. We'll see if he's ready to go today. That and more when we return with Dan Kingerski out of Pittsburgh on the Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
You got a go-to coffee spot, a trusted barber, even a lucky game day jersey. But when it's about looking your absolute best, there's only one name you need. Mr. Dirk. Family run since 1939. We're experts in crafting impeccable tailor-made suits and offering a wide variety of everyday styles. Pair that with personalized one-on-one fittings and the convenience of on-site tailoring. Mr. Dirk elevates your style game. Visit our Edmonton store or explore MrDirk.com. Score big on style with Mr. Dirk.
Noodle, 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 noodle. Noodle, 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 noodle.
Throw the load down to Oodle Noodle tonight because dine-in is open. Actions speak louder than words. Japa Machinery Group puts your construction plan into action with XCMG construction machinery you need. Available for rental or sale. Learn more at japamachinery.com.
Wondering what you can afford? Let Go Auto do the math with our free car loan calculator. No pressure, no awkward convos, just quick answers on your budget and payments. Bad credit, no credit? We got you. Text check to 780-777-7777. That's check to 780 all 7. Find out what you qualify for and start shopping with confidence. Go Auto. Drive what you love with payments that make sense.
The longest running basketball show in Canada airs every Saturday morning at 10 on Sports 1440. Hoop City with Paul Sir introduces a new generation of basketball talk, and it's right here on Edmonton's home for sports, Sports 1440.
It only comes once a year.
Aw, Valentine's Day.
What? No, from the top. It only comes once a year.
Oh, here we go. The Rock and Roll Super Party, only at On the Rocks.
Join host Ryan Jesperson on Sunday, February 8th.
At OTR for the biggest football party in Edmonton.
Your $30 ticket includes
all-you-can-eat buffet, commemorative t-shirts, prepaid Miller Lights, and entry to all prizes, including
$1,000 cash.
The Rock and Roll Super Party.
Only at On the Rocks.
Book your table today.
OnTheRocksYEG.com.
What a performance by Action Electrical today. Their projects team kicked things off, designing and building with unmatched skill.
Then the service team swoops in for those crucial repairs and maintenance. And don't forget the testing team, ensuring everything's safe and sound before the solar team scores with sustainable energy.
A complete team effort. Have Action Electrical bring home a win for you and your project. Visit actionelectrical.net.
At Fountain Tire, success is a team effort. They're committed to their team members and their customers. And that means treating your vehicle like it's their own and finding solutions that suit your needs. Because whatever the road brings ahead, they're on it with you. Visit fountaintire.com today.
Succession is one of the most important transitions for any family farm. The Bridging the Gap Farm Transition Workshop, hosted by Farm Management Canada and partners, helps families plan together, from communication and timing to financing and building a strong transition team. Agriculture Financial Services proudly sponsors this one-day event in Edmonton, January 29th. Reserve your spot today at afsc.ca. Bridging the Gap. We'll build the next generation together.
River Cree is the place for all your favorite sports. River Cree Resort and Casino, featuring UFC action and boxing live on the big screens at Tap 25, the MVP of sports bars, and in the Center Bar. Plus, catch this fall's biggest games. Every goal, every tackle, every home run. River Creek is also home to the Twin Rinks, where rec hockey and community teams come to play. Public skating available. Details at rivercreekresort.com.
River Cree Resort and Casino. Excitement. Bet on it.
When the ground freezes, you wonder how anything can get done. And instead of staying outside in temperatures that would make a polar bear cry, you head inside where it's toasty and warm. But that's not what GS Construction does. Because while the ground freezes above, we plan below, rebuilding and revitalizing the systems that keep our communities working year after year. Now, don't worry. GS Construction promises to do everything safely and efficiently, and we'll wear our extra warm clothing outside. For more on what we do, visit gsconstruction.ca.
Measles outbreaks are occurring in Canada, including Alberta. These outbreaks are highly preventable. Measles is an extremely contagious disease that is spread easily through the air. The best way to protect yourself, your family, and your community is to ensure you are up to date with your immunizations. Don't get measles. Get immunized. Visit alberta.ca/measles to find out if you're up to date and what to do if you're not. A message from the Government of Alberta.
Portions of this hour brought to you by On the Rocks. The Oilers are back in action, and OTR is ready to be your hockey headquarters. $5.75 Molson Canadian, 69-cent wings, and play, score, and win every game. See more at ontherocks.yeg.com.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
.427, welcome back, Gregor. Connor Halling, Declan Kruger with you. It's game day, Sports 1440, sports1440.ca, YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram. As always, brought to you by sponsor, PlayAlberta.ca, where, of course, you can get in the games, casino, lottery, instants, and it is our favorite fun game on Thursdays, the Daily Grand, $1,000 a day for the next 20 years. Get your tickets tonight, PlayAlberta.ca. I'd love for you to win. Be fun. $1,000 a day. I just want to win just to see, like, how's it feel after? I don't think I'd ever get bored of it. I don't think I'd ever get tired. Oh, another G note today. Hello. Nice. Very, very nice. 428. We're going to get to Dan Gursky in a second, talking some Pittsburgh Penguins. First, a few texts to get to. Hey, Gregor, I'm curious, when did you decide which days you go to media or not? I know you weren't there today watching online. Well, there are certain days I'll choose, but today was I chose fatherhood over work. I'm lucky enough that I was able to go watch my son. They were in the trial relays down at the Butterdome. For many of you, maybe you participated as a kid. God, it brings back awesome memories. Track and field relay is the best. It's chaos. There's like, I don't know how many kids there, 600, right, for boys and girls. And, you know, they got lots of different schools from all over the place. And then it's the qualifiers to get to the final later on in February. And it's the classic 8x200. And, man, the thing that I always get a chuckle, and this is my son's last year in elementary school, so, won't be taking part in it. So, I want to make sure I was there to watch it. And, you get to know some of his friends over time, so that's good too. And it's just, there's so much comedy going on in there. It's like chaos sometimes because, you have the baton exchange. And really, I only saw one of all the, right? I only saw one drop baton. Now, I did see one guy who was pushing it hard. He came down the final bend and just was trying a little too hard and, face planted, winded himself. Like he's rolling on his back. And you can tell that he was gasping for air. So that wasn't good. His smart teammate, though. The teammate ran, grabbed the baton, didn't check on him, but then kept running. So it was, no, obviously it cost him a lot of time. But I was like, hey, good heads up by the by the next runner. And but it's more so the exchange where, you know what, especially when you got 8 teams on the track, right? And so somebody exchanges, and then the guy who just finished, sometimes they don't look behind them. You're supposed to, by rules, stand there and wait till the runners go by you, right? That's what you're supposed to do. But someone cuts off, and then there is a few malfunctions at the junction. Luckily, no one got too hurt. But man, it's a ride and it's loud in there. So good luck and best of luck to all the schools who qualified to get to the finals later on in February. So should be a lot of fun. Brings back memories, man. I love. Cons, you ever run in the relays? Like, it used to be called the Edmonton Journal Games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't do it in elementary. Junior high, though, once
Okay.
got called up. That was the first time I did the baton exchange. Took a while. Like, it, obviously we even see it at the Olympic level. Sometimes they don't quite get it. But yeah, it took us a little while to get it down. That was going to be my question for you. How many batons were dropped? Because I don't think that would be an uncommon occurrence at that level, but good to hear. Guys doing good.
Well, and there is a few, you can see the schools who practice a little bit more. Like some, the kid's just stationary and waits and then hands a baton and then goes, which obviously slows you down. And then there's others that are running. Some are like really trained, like they're not even looking back. They just got their hand out. And then others are kind of going slow with their hands out. But yeah, there's, hey, they're young. There's grade 4, 5, and 6ers all together. And it's just, you kind of go who the fastest are. So it was pretty good. So it was loads of fun. Now, let's go around the NHL, brought to you by McDonald's. The $5 McValue meal are here. Enjoy options like the sausage McMuffin small meal or the McDouble small meal for $5 plus tax right now at McDonald's as the Pittsburgh Penguins come to town. One of the hottest teams in the NHL. 10-3-2 in their last 15 games. They have outscored teams 56-36 in that time period. Second best goals against average in the National Hockey League. Stuart Skinner's obviously been part of that as a 1.89 goals against. He won't play tonight. Well, at least I don't think he's going to play tonight because he played last night. So I'm thinking they'll get Arthur Shilov's in goal. But we'll find out. Maybe are they going to get some defensemen back? Some big-name defensemen. Erik Karlsson, Chris Letang, both sat out last night. Karlsson's missed the last 5 games. Will he be ready tonight? We'll find out. Dan Kangursky joins us from Pittsburgh Hockey Now. And Dan, do you have an update? What's your thoughts on the availability of Karlsson and Letang for tonight?
Karlsson, no. Letang, we're going to wait to see at 5 o'clock here when Coach Dan Muse lets us know who's in, who's out. But Karlsson not taking power play reps. What day is today? Thursday, so he didn't take power play reps on Tuesday. Letang skated for about a minute, maybe 90 seconds. Wednesday morning at the morning skate. They're still testing. They're still evaluating things there. So we'll find out at 5 o'clock. There's a chance Letang goes, I think.
Okay. They didn't really miss him last night. I went through the game sheet of that game, and they had that game really in control for much of it. They didn't give up a ton. But their 4 lines, that might have been the most even distribution of ice time that you're ever going to see 5-on-5. Crosby's line played 13:25. The 4th line played 12 minutes. So everybody was a minute and 25 seconds in between. There was only 2 penalties, so that played a factor in it. And they were leading, and everybody's playing well, but that probably helps you in a back-to-back situation, so there's less fatigue. And then even on the back end, you had Kulak and Wotherspoon play 21 minutes, but then your second and third pair both basically played 16 to 17. So a pretty well-run game, I would think, for the Penguins. Not much to complain about last night.
Yeah, I mean, I think the game sheets were a bit misleading. They showed Calgary with far more scoring chances than they really had in reality. Dan Muse has done a masterful job this year of keeping his older star players fresh, including that 4th line. Maybe coaches of years past, or the coach of years past, would often play them 6 and 8 minutes in a game like that. Last night, Muse, and that's been a season-long thing where Blake Lizotte is averaging almost 14 minutes a game. Yes, he's a penalty killer, but that 4th line is still rolling 10 minutes a night. It's allowing them to be more included. It's allowing some of these other guys like Justin Brazeau and Anthony Mantha to keep their legs going, and it really has been a rising tide that lifted all boats.
You look at them in the last 15 games. And, hey, 10-3-2, really good defensively. What is, and they were good earlier, but this is obviously, they're like being a top 3-4 team here for the last month. What have you seen as the big keys for their success?
There's a couple of things. One, they went through just a miserable stretch in December, and rather than pack it in, they actually learned a few things from it. They realized it can't get any worse than that. And they all sort of kind of bonded. They all looked at each other and said, okay, we have to play like this or play like that in these situations. And I think that how they've played in the third periods has made a world of difference. If they had played half as well in third periods over the last 2 seasons, Jason, they would have been a playoff team. The number of leads and big leads that they blew was just astronomical. This year, I mean, outside of that 3-week stretch in December when they set, new standards of blowing leads, they've been really good at that. Also, I do think Dan Muse has an entirely different atmosphere in the room, on the bench. Guys feel encouraged. They feel supported. They can go make a mistake, and the world's not going to end. They're not going to get benched. And so it really starts to bring this enthusiasm out. Oh, by the way, Sidney Crosby had a streak of multi-point games. That doesn't hurt either.
Yeah, well, no, definitely not. You mentioned Brazeau and Anthony Mantha, because early on, that was the line that carried them early in the season with Jenny Malkin. They were great, but then the injury bug hit, and that really kind of seemed to put him in the ditch. Brazeau might be one of the best value free agent signings of the offseason. Like, he has been excellent and probably added way more than anybody in Pittsburgh was expecting.
Way more than anybody was expecting. I recall let's talk September, early October. I'm wondering if the guy's going to make the team. I'm wondering because they had a plethora of prospects and other guys fighting for it. Lo and behold, he has been a pillar of the Penguins' top 9 anyway, if not middle 6. Parker Wotherspoon's another name I'll toss at you in terms of free agent values. He played the number 1 defenseman role last night. Feisty, quick, kind of on point. It was kind of something to see him grow into that role where he was a 7-8 defenseman the last couple of years in Boston. Kyle Dubas did a really nice job unearthing a few of these guys.
Dan Kingerski joins us talking Pittsburgh Penguins are in town tonight, take on the Edmonton Oilers. Dan, obviously, it's a pretty significant trade for both teams. Stuart Skinner for Tristan Jarry. You throw in Brett Kulak to make the money work for Edmonton, and then they got Stastny in kind of a roundabout way from Nashville to make the deal work. But Kulak scored his first goal the other day. He's not there for his offense. How has Kulak fit into the Penguins since coming there?
The first couple of games were a little rough. He and Chris Letang have a wonderful chemistry, and I think people around the league are noticing it just in what we're hearing. Kulak, he is a better defenseman than I expected. He's been skating with the puck, sort of jumping into the play every now and then, but he reads Chris Letang really well. Maybe that's from his time, there in Edmonton, around guys like Bouchard and such, but he's reading the Penguins very well. Providing that stable defense, but also chipping in, some offense. Get this. I mean, he was running the power play 2 for the last week and doing a nice job at it. He's been a real nice surprise.
Kulak is, I think, a very underappreciated defender. Like he was, and the thing is, and Oilers fans would say it, he was excellent in the playoffs every year for Edmonton. He's a guy who can elevate when the games get a little bit more intense. He's been to 3 Stanley Cup finals with Montreal, 2 with Edmonton. He's been good. Stuart Skinner, obviously his first game with Edmonton didn't go the way it wanted, maybe even his second game, but man, you look at his last starts, I look at his numbers, and you know what? I think it's 5 of his last 7 games. He's only allowed 1 goal. How has Skinner looked, and how has he fit in there?
Incredibly well. He's a dandy in the room, as you probably know. Just the way he connects with people and his teammates without being maybe over the top or, some guys are too much. He really blends in well. He's becoming a bit of a glue guy, I think, in the Penguins room. But in terms of on the ice, he is playing big. He's playing soft. He's absorbing these pucks. There's not rebounds bouncing everywhere. He's making the saves he should make. And because he's doing that, it's sort of this, feedback loop where he's getting better. The team is getting better. He's playing on top of the crease. And, 6 of 7 he's won. And until last night, all of his wins, or actually all of the games, in fact, since the holiday break, he had a better than 900 save percentage. He's passing the eye test, with flying colors.
And, Skinner had lots of runs here in Edmonton. I think, sometimes he took too much brunt of it. He would have some bad games. He even talked about it sometimes. If he had a bad game, it wasn't just one goal. He'd allow 2 or 3 that weren't good. And maybe it would last for 2 or 3 games. But when he gets on a roll, he can stay on a roll, which we've seen. So, and he is a really good guy. Stuart Skinner is one of all, and I've been in the league for 25 years. There's certain guys he just really enjoyed speaking to all the time. And lots of my best conversations with him weren't even about hockey, to be honest. So,
we were talking pizza the other day. Yeah. Great guy.
Yeah, no, he's very thought-provoking about, different ideas and stuff like that. And, it's good. Sometimes, hey, wouldn't be the first goalie who went to another place and had success. Tristan Jarry's come to Edmonton and, outside of the injury, when he's in, he's played quite well for sure. And, he's playing tonight. Did you talk to Skinner? Was it a discussion? Did the coaches say, you know what, I want to go with Skinner because of how he played. We're going to finally play him back-to-back, or did they not want him to face his former team again?
The reason he's not playing tonight, I suppose, is an outgrowth of the success of the trade. Dan Muse said that, he's earned the right to be the front end of the back-to-backs, really kind of taking Edmonton out of the equation. Now, if that was a coach just saying that for, our benefit, I don't necessarily know. But it made sense. Take the win where you can get it. Worry about game 2 in game 2. Yeah. So that's why Skinner went, against Calgary.
Okay. Looking at the matchup tonight, Connor McDavid has 24 points in his last 9 games against the Penguins, and 2 of them he actually had 0 points. So the other games, 24 points in 7. Like when he gets rolling, he had a 4-point game earlier this year. He gets up for Sidney Crosby. I know he says he doesn't, but obviously he clearly does if you look at the numbers. And, it's been a mismatch in Edmonton's favor. At least recently, like coming out of COVID, the Edmonton's won 4 straight at home, and they've won them all by 3 goals except for 1. When you look at this matchup tonight, no Letang, no Carlson. Is it going to be Kulak and Wotherspoon most likely? I know they don't get last change, but what do you see as the matchups they would like to get against McDavid?
Well, actually, Jason, I just got a text. One of those 2, it looks like you're going to play tonight.
Okay.
I got a text teasing me from a source like, hey, did you hear yet? So anyway, we'll wait to see which one. I'll have to text as soon as we're done here. Okay. And I apologize. I've kind of forgot your question when I saw the text, but yeah, Edmonton has sort of stomped the Penguins. And I know Sidney Crosby has sort of noticed, and I know it's, I don't want to say in his head, but he's cognizant. He's aware of how lopsided this series has been. You even go back to the, was March of 23 with the Jake Gensel drama. Will he be traded? Will he not be traded? They came to Edmonton and just got absolutely blown out, sealing Jake Gensel's fate. And this sort of, this building and this, this, I don't want to call it rivalry, but you get what I'm saying, sort of still has a bit of that tinge to it.
Yeah, no, and so Crosby, I'm assuming, hey, Sidney Crosby would love the matchup against McDavid because I'm not sure you're going to give it to Novak or definitely probably not Kindle. And that's my last question. Malkin's playing the wing right now. How long is that going to last?
I don't know. It really is interesting because he started on the left wing and then moved to the right. I've been a proponent of moving Evgeny Malkin to the wing. I think it opens up options for the future as well. If somebody comes to the table with that offer that Kyle Dubas has set up, a sky high price for Rickard Rakell or even Brian Rust, you have your winger to fill in there. Whether Evgeny Malkin's shoulder is entirely healthy enough to play center, there are some wonderments about that. Playing with Igor Chinikov and Tommy Novak, the line isn't always very good, but they get it done kind of like a jam band. They just sort of figure it out. I'm not going to tell you that they're well coordinated and structured, but they seem to put pucks in the net, which I guess is the ultimate goal.
Obviously. Dan, thanks so much for this, man. We'll see you down at the rink. I appreciate it.
All right, take care.
There you go. There's that Dan Kingerski. So one of the big 2, Letang or Carlson, he had said he didn't think Carlson was going to play, so it's probably going to be Chris Letang. Will come back in for the Pittsburgh Penguins after missing last night's game in Calgary. We'll take a quick break. We will return. We're going to get to 5 questions. We got Speck and more on a busy Thursday edition of the Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
I skipped breakfast this morning. Stay out of my way.
Don't threaten me with your bad choices.
No worries. A booster bar from Booster Juice will fix me.
I don't even know what that is.
Yeah, because they're new. Snack-sized bars packed with seeds, pecans, gluten-free oats, all sorts of good stuff.
That sounds lovely, actually.
2 different flavors to try, too. Coconut pecan booster bars and harvest booster bars. Want to skip breakfast with me?
I take it back. You make good choices.
Booster Juice, Canadian-born, blending since 1999.
You've got a go-to coffee spot, a trusted barber, even a lucky game day jersey. But when it's about looking your absolute best, there's only one name you need: Mr. Dirk. Family run since 1939, we're experts in crafting impeccable tailor-made suits and offering a wide variety of everyday styles. Pair that with personalized one-on-one fittings and the convenience of on-site tailoring. Mr. Dirk elevates your style game. Visit our Edmonton store or explore MrDirk.com. Score big on style with Mr. Dirk.
Hey, Edmonton, did you know a local Play Alberta winner scored over $500,000 on Mega Jackpots Ocean Bells? Think about the season tickets you could lock down with that kind of cash. From major casino winners every hour to jackpots worth millions and hundreds of popular games to money that stays in the province, there's never been a better time to sign up for Play Alberta. Download the app today to get started with casino, sports, and lottery all in one app. Must be 18 plus to play. When you gamble, use your game sense.
Bringing every project to life requires the right team. By joining the Japa Machinery Group service or sales teams, you can be part of setting a new industry standard. Celebrating a legacy of excellence with Japa. Learn more at japamachinery.com.
Does your New Year's resolution include saving money? Then don't miss the store-wide inventory clearance at the Brig. Save up to 70% off in-store clearance items. Buy more, save more on bedroom and dining furniture, up to 25% off. Save on select major kitchen appliances. Plus, buy 2 or more and save the tax. Finally, a resolution you can keep. The Brick, saving you more. Some exclusions apply. See in-store for details.
Invest for today and tomorrow. Vision Credit Union makes it simple with 2 RRSP options to fit your goals. Choose a secure term deposit RRSP with guaranteed returns or a mutual fund RRSP offering higher growth potential with exciting opportunities. With an RRSP, you'll save on your income tax, grow your investments tax-free, and get closer to your dreams. Whether it's retirement or your first home, the deadline to qualify for 2025 tax deductions is March 2nd. Learn more at visioncu.ca.
It's the best for Honda. It's the place for service too. I love it. I love Honda place. Would you buy? Would you buy? Would you buy? You would buy it. It's the place.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Cantork, made in Canada, made for Canada, where extreme isn't theoretical. Find your solution at cantork.com.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
.448, welcome back. Sports 1440, sports1440.ca, YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram. Gregor, Hallie, Declan Cougar with you. You can always text us, 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. We got a lot of text line. We're going to get some of those in the final hour of the show today. We got Spec coming up as well. We'll hear from Coach Chris Knobloch on... looking for a better start tonight. That is kind of Captain Obvious for the Oilers, and we'll see what they can do because they got to be better early on in the game, man. They have to be better because when they have a good start, they win. 21 out of 26 games when the Oilers have scored first, they win. 4 out of 25 when they give up the first goal, they win. You don't have to be pre-math like Struddy's pre-med to know those are not good numbers if you trail first. So score. Early if you can, be ready. There's no reason that they should be sleepwalking through the first period tonight. None. Let's get to 5 questions brought to you by The Brick, where saving you more is what they do, especially right now, as they have the store-wide inventory clearance is on up to 70% off clearance items. Scratch and dent, overstock special buys, they are priced at clear, man. You can get some unreal deals. Many years ago, we bought a fridge there. It had like a scratch on the side. Who sees the side of your fridge? Put it in. It's unbelievable. So I guess if it's on the corner of your, but ours isn't, so it's perfect. Works great. Little scratch. That once you live in it anyway, you probably put a scratch on yourself. So get a good deal at The Brick and thebrick.com.
It's time for 5 questions on the Jason Gregor Show.
All right, Jason, Oilers Penguins tonight. What's going to happen, and how many points will the Olympic teammates McDavid and Crosby combine for?
Ooh, 24 points in 9 games, pretty crazy for McDavid. But funny enough, most of his big games have come on the road against the Penguins more than at home. But the Oilers got to take advantage of a team 3 games in 4 nights, second half of back-to-back. So I'll say Edmonton wins tonight, and Crosby and McDavid combine for 4 points.
Yeah, I like that. I think the Oilers come out playing well. Strong defensive game continues. I'll say they win 5-2 with an empty netter, combined for 4 points, and McDavid has 3 of them. Question number 2 for you. If you had to pick a 3-game stretch for the Oilers to win 3 straight games, which 3 games are you picking?
Go ahead.
I'm going to jump ahead. I'm going to say they get on a little bit of a heater early February. It starts off in Toronto, then you're in Calgary, then you're in Anaheim. So Feb 3.
So
Feb
3
4,
games that are 3 weeks apart?
And then you got to wait for the break, and you come back and beat Anaheim. So there's going to be that talk for the Olympic break. Those are my 3 games.
Oh, man.
Hopefully sooner.
God. At this state, right now, I have no confidence in them to win a game 3. Like, there'd be so many chances. So you'd look and say, well, like Pittsburgh, Washington, Anaheim, it should be those 3 games. All 3 are 3 games in 4 nights, second half of a back-to-back. Every one of them. You should be able to win those games. But the way this season's gone, I probably can't do it. So, God, I will say at this rate, I might have to go into March, Connor Halley. I don't like it, but I don't think they'll come back and win 3 in a row. So, you know what? I will say San Jose, Ottawa, Carolina, end of February, early March.
Oh, what a discussion point for us. Question number 3 for you. Let's say you're the Las Vegas Raiders. You very likely have your quarterback of the future, Fernando Mendoza, as you hold the number 1 pick in the draft. You're looking at head coach. Are you going for an offensive head coach or a defensive head coach?
Well, the head coach to me isn't as important as who's my quarterback coach? Who's helping the young guy? Who is going to help? Because now, if you have an offensive-minded head coach, that's great, but he's still the head coach. He's got to oversee everything. I got to make sure I've got a developmental coach in my quarter who's going to work with my OC to scheme to give him the best opportunity for success. So I think that might be more important than who the head coach is.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to figure out what's the route to go. If you look at the championship games this weekend, you have an offensive coach in Sean Payton against Vrabel defensive, and then you've got McDonald defensive against what's his name? McVay with the Rams. So it's offense versus defense on both of these matchups here. I think I go offense similar to the fashion, kind of like Andy Reid with Patrick Mahomes. And just in case you lose that OC, you still have that offensive-minded head coach. You can grow with him and help him out. If you go defensive coach with a good OC, there's always a chance he gets that head coaching job in the next couple of years. So that's the route I would go. And I think the Raiders have a guy in Seattle they've got their eye on. Question number 4 for you. The home rink won't be at the Scotties this year with the Olympics coming up. So of the teams remaining, who would be your pick to win it all?
Go ahead.
I'm going to go with, it seems kind of like a cheap pick, but Team Canada, the Iverson rink, I'm going to go with them to get the job done here.
That's pretty cheap.
Yeah.
Well, I'll go maybe cheaper, and I'm going to, because Team Alberta has 2 teams.
Yeah.
But I'm going to go with Sturmey out of the Saville Center.
I like that pick. the provincial champion.
Yeah.
Good selection there. Final question for you today is National Hot Sauce Day. So when it comes to hot foods, spicy foods, all that sort of thing, are you a fan? And what is the max you can do?
Oh, dude, I'm soft for hot food. Like Frank's Red Hot is like my level of hot. Like what is Frank's? Is Frank's a 5 out of 10? I don't even know if it's that high. If Frank's is a 5, I could probably go 5.5. But I've tried hot before, and yeah, buddy, it's not good. Like too hot, just it ruins the flavor. I'm just like, so I don't like it. But yeah, I'm not overly spicy. Is not good for this cat. So I would say maybe a 5.5, probably the most I could do.
Yeah, I'm probably with you. I don't even go with Frank's. My friends joke that ketchup is spicy to me. Like that's a little dramatic. I don't mind the taste of jalapenos because they don't overwhelm it. So I can do jalapenos, but I have friends who've gone out and do those wing challenges where you have to sign the waiver. No chance. If it makes my nose run or like my mouth hurt, like you said, I'm not enjoying it. So I would probably put myself like realistically 4, like pepper, chili flakes. Those are good for me. I don't need to go crazy with it.
Yeah. Like I know there's some people and good on them that can do it. Like sometimes even the smell, I'm like, dude, I can barely smell that. How the hell are you eating that? So, and I like this question from Brian. Hey, Gregor, the Oilers haven't won 3 in a row. How many times have they won 4 out of 5? Like 4 out of 5. They had a stretch where they won 2, lost 1, won 2, lost 1, won 2. So technically, I guess that would be 2 stretches of 4 out of 5 if you include the middle twice. But can we do that? Would that be it? And that would be the only time all season they've done that. So I'll say once, 4 out of 5. So not great. They've had a lot of chances here lately to win 3 in a row, and they just keep stubbing their toe. So they'll have to start again at the bottom. Pittsburgh, Washington, Anaheim, all 3 at home, all 3 when the opponents are playing 3 and 4, second half of a back-to-back. Not sure it's going to set up even easier than that, especially if you win tonight, then you get maybe the emotional boost of Draisaitl coming back. We'll see. We will see. Let's get to Connor Halley and a Sports 1440 update brought to you by Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. Even though it's 2026, don't forget about the huge savings Mike and his gang have on 2025 models. Great savings right now at northgategm.com.
The Sports 1440 update.
Game day Oilers and Penguins down at Rogers Place. Puck drop just after 7 o'clock. We've got pregame coverage coming your way with Andrew Walker coming up at 6 right here on Sports 1440. Elsewhere, a bunch of games getting going shortly. Bruins host the Golden Knights. Sabres in Montreal. The Hurricanes up against the Blackhawks. Stars in Columbus. Later on, you got the Preds hosting the Sens. Panthers in Winnipeg. And at 7:30, the Wild up against the Detroit Red Wings. In the association, Magic hosting the Hornets. You got the Nuggets and Wizards. Mavs, Warriors first travel to Salt Lake City. Clippers up against the Lakers and the Heat in Portland. From the NFL, Jesse Minter being hired as the Baltimore Ravens' next head coach. The former Chargers defensive coordinator spent time with the Ravens organization from 2017 to 2020 before moving on to Vanderbilt and Michigan. And in the PWHL, Toronto's in Vancouver. Puck drop set for 8 o'clock. Coming up in hour 4 of the Jason Gregor Show, we'll be joined by Mark Spector of Rogers Sportsnet and hear from members of the Oilers. I'm Connor Halley. This has been a Sports 1440 update.
Sports 1440 in West Edmonton Mall and Wetaskiwin. CKJR is a Stingray radio station.
Download the free Radio Player app and listen wherever you go.
They're not just a grocery store. They're a butcher, a baker, a cafe, deli, rotisserie pizza, and restaurant, all under one roof. Loca Quality Market does food differently with 2 locations to serve you. Edmonton and Sherwood Park. Visit loca.ca.
Hey, sports fans, we've got a clear choice for you. At Crystal Glass, we provide customers with the perfect glass for any job. From home to auto and even commercial, installation or repairs, we're your team. Call 310 Glass or visit crystalglass.ca. Crystal Glass.
The job isn't done until the last load is hauled, and having a semi-trailer out of commission is not an option. Whether replacing or adding to your convoy, Edmonton Trailer has a huge inventory of new and used semi-trailers, trusted by the gravel, logging, oil field, fluids, and freight industries. Find a trailer right for you online or at one of their 3 locations. For sales, service, parts, rental, and finance, when you're in it for the long haul, Edmonton Trailer.
Remember 2025? That's so last year. But seriously, St. Albert Dodge needs to clear some 2025 models off the lot to make room for new inventory. So they're having a huge clear out of all the remaining new 2025 Jeep Wrangler Saharas. The Sahara package is the best seller, so they have a great selection to choose from and priced from as low as $59.9. I don't have to tell you, these are going to go fast. So get there before they are gone. Just head up the trail and see how easy it is to do business at St. Albert Dodge.
The longest running basketball show in Canada airs every Saturday morning at 10 on Sports 1440. Hoop City with Paul Sir introduces a new generation of basketball talk, and it's right here on Edmonton's home for sports, Sports 1440.
The new double cheesy melt at McDonald's. We're talking 2 juicy, mouth-watering 100% Canadian beef patties, 2 slices of cheesy goodness, with even more melty, cheesy sauce on top. Topped with pickles, then crispy and grilled onions. The way it all comes together, you don't just eat it, you melt into it. The double cheesy melt, only at McDonald's. For a limited time only at participating McDonald's restaurants in Canada.
Missioner Allen Auctioneering's Calgary, Edmonton, Winnipeg Public Unreserved Equipment Auction is next Friday at 9 a.m. featuring graders, forklifts, wheel loaders, man lifts, mini excavators, skid steers, telehandlers, plus commercial trailers and sea cans. Info at maauctions.com.
Winter snow and ice are nothing to fear when the Lawnmower Hospital's in your corner. Keep pathways clear of snow with the Echo PB770T backpack blower, or go even bigger with the huge PB9010T. Right now, buy select commercial walk-behind BCS sweepers and get the Echo PB9010T for free. The Lawnmower Hospital has pet-safe, plant-safe ice melt, too. Visit lawnmowerhospital.com.
The Lawnmower Hospital.
Missioner Allen Auctioneering's next Calgary, Edmonton, Winnipeg Public Unreserved Industrial Auctions are next Thursday and Friday. These major events include multiple lanes selling a large section of multi-purpose trucks, equipment, and commercial trailers. Info at maauctions.com.
Hey, Gary, is that your dad?
No, this is Evan, the new sales rep I hired.
Oh.
First impressions matter, but when hair loss takes over, it can feel like you're not being seen for the maverick you truly are. Hi, I'm Dr. Vance Elliott. At Advanced Hair and Skin Surgery, we know that hair loss is more than just a cosmetic issue. It's personal. Let's discuss all the cutting-edge options available so you can make a great impression every time.
Book a free consultation today at drvanceelliott.com.
Welcome to Uncommon. Welcome to Subaru. Engineered for Canadian winters, built for real-life confidence. Tackle the ice and snow with Subaru's symmetrical all-wheel drive, delivering the power, control, stability, and grit you need. And when the temperature plummets, you'll cruise in comfort with heated seats and heated steering wheel. All this plus peace of mind with Subaru's top safety pick status for 19 years running. This winter, it's time to get you into a Subaru. Visit Subaru.ca today.
Portions of this hour brought to you by EUL. Get your power play amped up with EUL, supplying the City of Champions and Alberta with quality electrical gear since 1975. EUL.ca is your partner in power.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
We roll through, man. Time is flying by in this Thursday afternoon. It's also chilly out there. My goodness, the temperatures, we kind of got soft. Well, I got soft again. It was quite nice out for a while, but man, today, oof, pitch in. It's going to be pretty cold here for a few days. So be sure to stay safe out there. Give yourself a little bit more time because this is the worst time to get an fender bender. When it gets cold like this, one little bump and it ends up being way more damage than you would normally think. So preferably you never want to get in one, but you definitely don't want to get in one when it's this chilly out. So be safe on your way home tonight. I do want to get to this quickly. This is the Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca. Hey, Gregor, Frank's Red Hot is only a 450 Scoville heat unit. SHU. Pretty low. Yeah, well, that means nothing to me. I don't even know what a Scoville heat unit is. So is it like a 2 out of 10? Like what's average, Cons? What's the average of the Scoville heat unit?
Well, the way I'm looking at it, Ghost Pepper is 1 million. Anaheim Pepper is very mild and is 500 to 1,000. So very low.
No, very low. All right. Well, that's what I said. Now, Frank's Red Hot, it's fine now, but I don't like overly spicy stuff. I'm sure I could probably try it more, but I'm like, what does it do? Does it make it taste better?
Even the people that like it, like when they're eating it, they're like, nose is running.
Yeah. I'm like, oh, this is so fun, man. Like, oh, I gotta wipe my brow. This is unreal. Like, okay. I'd like to wipe my brow and some other things to get me excited about it. Sure the hell ain't gonna be hot sauce. I'll tell you that right now. So there we go. 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. As we get to the Spec Report, brought to you by GS Construction. They specialize in underground infrastructure. They make your life more enjoyable with running water, indoor plumbing. They are the grinders of construction. GS Construction is Mark Spector from Rogers Sportsnet. Joins us. Spec, can you eat hot food?
Yep. Yeah, I like hot food. Indian. I like good, hot, spicy Indian.
Okay. All right.
How about you? You're not a hot food guy, huh?
Not really. No. Not over. Well, definitely not like super hot. No. Like I don't need to be sweating when I'm eating.
Yeah, no, I'm not. I mean, some guys do that. I would say to you that I would never order wings. Like I would always order the hot wings. And,
yeah.
You know, most times hot wings aren't that hot.
No, I don't want suicide wings.
Yeah, right. I don't see the point in that. What's that? Isn't it? What's that interview where the guy interviews people while they eat increasingly hot chicken wings?
Yeah, I've seen. I can't remember the name of it, but you see them and they're like, they eventually curse at him and stuff. And I'm like, well, you know what you're getting into. Like, you can't be that like surprised by it. Hey, this is really hot. Yeah, I'm on a show where I'm supposed to eat hot food. What? I can't believe it. Right? Yeah. Well, there was the one comedian. She was I can't remember her name, but I saw the clip online. It was pretty funny about it. So, you know what? And because some people are like, yeah, I really like hot food. Like my buddy, good looking boy. We went to Costa Rica. Oh no, sorry, it was the year we went to Belize, and we'd met some locals on one of our excursions. And so, 2 days later, we were just walking down the beach, and they're like, "Hey, we're having a big, party here tonight. Do you guys want to come?" And we're like, "Oh, sure." And so I'm like, I don't know what the hell to bring to this. So of course, what do? We bring beer. Like, what else are you gonna bring, right?
Sure.
We're going to the pier, and they have all the food. They're like, "What are you doing?" I said, "Well, we got to show up with something." So we brought some beer. So right away, we're in the good books because they're like, "No one ever brings anything here." I'm like, "Okay, good." And so we have the food, and they have all the salsas lined up on the table, Spec, and probably 10 or 15 one. And so, I look at them like, okay, what's this? They're like, well, this is salsa, and these are light. These three here, they're pretty hot. So I'm not touching one, like no chance. Well, my buddy's like, I like hot food, right? So he literally, like, no joke, I'm talking like the tip of his pinky finger. He puts a little bit on one of the on some rice, and he takes a bite of it. We're sitting down, and like literally 30 seconds after he eats, like his face is just like, you can see the temperature gauge coming up. And now he's like, oh my God. And for like an hour, his mouth was numb. And his was like the third hottest, not even the hottest one. And I was dying, right? And they're all laughing. He's like, God, like I like hot food, but what the hell is this? But meanwhile, the locals, they're eating it like it's sugar, right? The guy's got a big spoonful and I'm just like, I'm sure maybe at the young age, if you eat spicy food, or maybe your mom, when you're in the womb, she's eating spicy food. Maybe you're just used to it. I don't know, but
it's a cultural thing. Like you're Scottish, right?
Well, more, German and Scottish mix.
Okay, yeah. And both those countries have really boring food. Like just straight ahead, Fred. Not much flavor, not much spice. So yeah, right. Your parents and your grandparents didn't cook with that stuff, but if you come from Belize and they've been cooking. I remember covering the World Baseball Championship, and some cats from like Venezuela made this rabbit stew. And they invited us over, and I did the same thing. I just brought a bunch of beer. And that rabbit stew is hotter than you could imagine. Only time I ever had rabbit stew is pretty good. I didn't ask where they got the rabbits, but those guys, man, they can just chow down. That's if you come from Colombia, you come from Mexico, you come from one of those South American places, or India, right? Those Indian people, they can eat that hot stuff like crazy.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just a Latvian cat from Canada, man. I'm not even close.
No. Same with me. Well, the Edmonton Oilers spec, they're like a I don't know, $500,000 hot unit there that we were just talking about earlier, the SCUs or SHU, whatever the hell it is. Yeah,
the Scoville unit.
Yeah, the Scoville heat unit. They're about 500,000 when they score first, and then they're like negative if they get scored on first. So it's pretty obvious to see where this team is based on who scores first.
Yeah, and that's not really fitting of the character of this team. Like, this has always been a team that can score like crazy. It shouldn't matter if they get scored on first, in my opinion. You know, they got enough bullets that being down 1-0 shouldn't make such a big difference. So I'm a little, it's a surprising stat for me. And I'd say the other way, traditionally, especially in the first half of the season, they've always had the ability to cough up a 2-0 lead pretty good. So I'm surprised that stat is as stark as it is. I think it's a bit of an outlier.
Yes.
Like, you're the Oilers, you're down 1-0. Who cares? Like, you can get to 5 still. I don't know why you're supposed to lose just because you got down 1-0.
Yeah. This just coming out as a coach just spoke. Erik Karlsson will return to the lineup, and Graves is going to injured reserve. So I don't know, maybe he got hurt last night. His minutes didn't show up, but either way, Karlsson is in. Chris Letang is not in tonight for the Pittsburgh Penguins. So anybody going to the game, anybody watching the game, you will see Erik Karlsson, and he returns after a 5-game hiatus for the Penguins, who are rolling spec 10-3-2 in their last 15, fourth hottest team in the NHL. They've only allowed 36 goals. Like, this is a scheduling advantage game for the Oilers. They didn't take advantage of it against New Jersey. Pittsburgh comes in, they're playing pretty well. And the advantage for Edmonton is they get to face Shelov's instead of Skinner, because Skinner's numbers are infinitely better than Shelov's over the last 15.
Yeah, that's the advantage. The advantage is you beat Pittsburgh. You know, the styles must be good. I think the Oilers are 8-1 in their last 9 against Pittsburgh. And remember, you only play them twice a year. So that stretches over into 5 years here. They've lost 1 game to Pittsburgh. So don't ask me why. Like, why does those styles work that way? I don't know. You know, why does Columbus beat the Oilers all the time? I don't know. Who knows? But this back-to-back and 3 and 4, I want to say, because the schedule is so tough and everyone's playing so many games, I think there's less of an advantage there this year than in a lot of years. You know, everyone's used to playing back-to-backs, man. 3 and 4 is nothing this season. Everyone's packing these games in. So, I mean, New Jersey looked a heck of a lot fresher than the Oilers the other night, and they can't deny that.
Yeah, no, definitely early on they did. The
40
Oilers
minutes,
the game, but it was too late for the Oilers. And Chris Novak didn't mince his words. Hey, we weren't ready to play. The Oilers spec, they started out the season good at home, but they've only won 8 of their last 18 home games. And this is a team that over the previous 3 years was a very good, like 8th best home record, and literally like 2 wins away of being top 3. Like, they've been a very good home team. And so 8 out of 18, like, it's not just the month of January, they've won 2 of 6. 8 out of 18 is not a good run.
No, and it's uncharacteristic again. That's not the Oilers team we know. Like, as they find their game, they become really tough at home. Their playoff record at home is very, very good. You know, I guess I always fall back on, Jay, if I got a team that wins real well on the road, wins lots of road games, they're going to figure out to win at home. Like, they'll figure it out. If I got a team that can't win on the road and only wins at home, then I got a problem. So I'm not overly worried about the Oilers' home record. They've proven themselves to be a very good home team. Obviously, your numbers don't lie. 8 out of 18, that's not good enough. But, you know, what's their road record in that time? Their road record is excellent. And it's harder to win on the road than it is at home. They're going to be fine.
Yeah, well, they should, but everybody keeps saying they'll be fine. But here's the thing. You might be fine, but it might cost you a home ice advantage again. And I looked it up in the playoffs. Oilers are 15-7 at home in the playoffs. They're 14-11 on the road. It's an advantage to have more home games. This is not a new thing. And the Oilers haven't won a cup last time I checked. So Get home as much home ice advantage as you can. And the only way you can get home advantage is being better in the regular season. And so we all know they're going to finish first or second in the Pacific. They don't have much competition for it. Like if they finish third, they got a real problem. But I look at this team now. You can't just be like, they'll turn it on in the playoffs. Yeah, but then turn it on by making it harder on themselves.
Yeah, listen, you can't sit and argue that it's better to not open at home. Obviously, you want to have home ice advantage. But I don't think if you went in that dressing room, I don't think that the Oilers players are that convinced of its importance. I mean, look at last season. They had home ice advantage in the first. They lacked home ice advantage in the first 3 rounds and won them all. They had home ice advantage in round 4 and lost it. So, is it really worth that much? I don't know if it's really worth that much. It's really there's 2 places where it's really a big deal. Obviously, Game 7 is a big deal. The other one is if you can close a series quick and only make 1 trip. If you can have a 5-game series, you're playing Vegas or LA, and you only make 1 trip to LA, you come home, you close your series, that's where home ice advantage really helps you in a playoff run. The less flying, less traveling for sure. And hey, this team hasn't taken care of business in the regular season in their whole time here, right? Hell, they haven't won a division since the 80s, but they go to the Cup twice in a row. They're the best team in the West, but they're not the best team in the Pacific during the season. So, this is their character. This is who they are, Jay. I'm not telling you they can't win this year, but I'm telling you that why are we expecting them to win this year when they don't win any other years?
Well, that's fair, but they've been a good home team the last few years, and the schedule right now is set up for them to take advantage of it, which could help them in the playoffs. And so I would like to believe that they would take advantage of this January month, which they haven't. And now, hey, their next 3 games spec are still scheduling advantages, and Pittsburgh's playing very well. But still, the Oilers have beaten up on the Penguins. It's funny. There's certain teams that the Oilers struggle with, like Minnesota kind of has the Oilers number. But, man, Crosby has kind of gotten shellacked by McDavid the last few seasons. McDavid has 24 points in 9 games against the Penguins. Some of his best games have come on the road, including a 4-pointer earlier this year in Pittsburgh. But it's a matchup that just, due to his age now, it's an advantage McDavid for sure. And so tonight's a game with she loves, with all those things that I don't care that Draisaitl is in the lineup. If you can't win a game without Draisaitl, the Penguins just won last night without their 2 best defensemen. So don't tell me the Oilers, you can't beat a good team. They beat Vancouver and St. Louis, sure, but you still should be able to beat a good team without 1 player.
Oh, no question. Absolutely. Hell, they'd have beaten New Jersey if they'd have put in 40 minutes of work. They just put in only 20, so no, the Oilers are coming at you from the top down. Look at it. This isn't me being a fan. This has been the best team in the Western Conference for 2 years. And before that, they made it to the Western Conference final, and they were, they've been right at the top here for what? What are we going to say, Jay? A 5-year run. They've been one of the best teams in the West, and they're the 2-time reigning champion in the West. So I'm not being a fan saying they're really good. They're really good. We don't need to mince up reasons why they might be able to win. They should win because they're better than Pittsburgh. That's why. They should win because they're better than Jersey. That's why. You're not going to win every night. But when it comes, when the games get a little more serious and you're coming off a loss and you've got all these home games, this is a time to focus down, right? This is a good team. It's time to focus down and win your games here. Take care of some business. Get in the Olympic break, feeling good, because you got a couple guys going to the Olympics are going to come home tired, and you start on the road after that. So, yeah, man, this is where good teams play well. And I know the Oilers are a good team. Now let's see if they play well.
Who do you think, because they had the lines running yesterday at practice, Nugent Hopkins back with McDavid and Hyman, Roslovic was with the 2 kids. The 4th line stays the same. So then Podkolzin and Frederick. Who do you think is going to get rotated in with those 2 the most tonight?
Probably Connor McDavid would be played the most, right? Wouldn't you think? I mean, your top 3 centers are McDavid, Nugent Hopkins, Roslovic, correct?
Yeah.
And then you don't have a center for the 4th line, correct?
Well, no. Lazar's on the 4th line. He's with Janmark and Mangiapane, right? Nugent Hopkins is with McDavid and Hyman.
Okay.
And there's no center kind of for your Podkolzin and Frederick I guess in theory, are your second line sets of wingers right now?
I guess so. So, I mean, all I know is what coach, if there's extra ice time to be handed out, the coach gives it to his best guys. So, it always starts with McDavid getting an extra shift or two. And then if someone's going real good, they get rewarded with it. Like, I sometimes think that's why coaches don't mind 11-7, because they get to either A, not have to play the fourth line that some guys hate playing anyways, or B, there's a spot to reward guys that are playing real well. And, to me, in Edmonton, it always starts with McDavid. If there's a free shift to get handed out, they're always giving it to 97. 29's not playing tonight, so I would suggest to you that it'll be Connor McDavid gets the most extra shifts. And then, like I say, if a guy like Podkolzin is going good, let him have a shift or two.
Yeah, Podkolzin's played pretty well as of late, no question. All right, had no hesitation to go after Kovacevic on the hit on McDavid, which I have no problem with. You heard Curtis Lazar right after say, "We'll kill those off all day long," and they always do. They always seem to kill off an instigator when a guy stands up for a teammate, just because I think guys respect it, and it's just one of those kind of weird. I know not everyone gets killed off, but it's a much higher percentage than most penalties.
It seems like they do.
Yeah, it definitely does. What would you, going one last one for you on the because Draisaitl we think could be back by Saturday. It's not 100%, but that was the initial plan.
That's kind of what they're hinting at.
Yeah. And so when he comes back, Spec, I know they put Nugent Hopkins back with McDavid now. So do you think they're going to keep Roslovic as a center iceman and just ride this out till the Olympics, or would you like to see them actually do a run once Draisaitl's back? Say, okay, now we can go Draisaitl, McDavid, and Nugent Hopkins. Let's see what we have. What do you think they do?
I don't see a coach, Jay, who loves Nugent Hopkins at center. I just don't see that coach. Like, we're 50 games in here, and he's tossed him down there, and then he brings him back up. And he puts them back down, gives him another try, and where's he playing tonight? Back on left wing. So I kind of judge this coach. I judge any coach. I don't listen to him as much as I watch him. His actions tell me he doesn't love Nugent Hopkins as his third line center. Now, he did say today that, someone asked him the question. Were you there today? I can't remember.
No, I wasn't. I was watching my son in track and field.
There you go. Someone actually asked him basically the question you're asking me. And he said, what's going to happen in the future? And he said, he basically, and I'm paraphrasing, he said, let's see what the trade deadline brings. And that's what you and I have been saying for weeks. Like, is Nugent Hopkins going to be a center? He might be if they could find a fantastic left winger out there to trade for at the deadline. Or and if they find a centerman, then Nugent Hopkins is going to get locked on the wing. And he did say, he said, it's awfully hard to find the right centerman. It sounds like him and Bowman can't seem to see a guy that's going to pop open. So the odds are, Jay, they're going to pick up a winger at the deadline. So now your question is going to become very pertinent. Okay, here's our winger. Where's he playing? And who gets to play third line center now, right? Is that winger going to step in for McDavid, or is that winger going to step in for Roslovic? I don't love either, or I should say Nuge. I don't love either guy as my third line center. I'm not sure. Do you feel like Roslovic's proven he can be a third line center?
No, I think he's way better on the wing.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the coach thinks Nugent Hopkins way better on the wing, but he also isn't sure they're going to be able to find a centerman. So hello, Adam Henrique.
Yeah, that is, well, I don't know. Henrique, now my understanding is out with a broken finger. So, you know what? That's, he should be skating,
I don't love him as my third line center either.
No, I don't think I think if Adam Henrique's my fourth line center, I'm okay. I don't think he's a third line center. And really, as a fourth line center, the way Curtis Lazar's played, when I look at the salary cap, I probably think Curtis Lazar better as a fourth line center.
I don't need him. I know it's unfortunate, but I think the feeling on Henrique is he slowed down too much. And you're right. Now you got 2 fourth line centers. You only need one, and you don't need the one making $3 million. But anyway, that's the way it's going to go. So these are, I don't know how it gets solved. To me, and we'll conclude on this, to me, the problem gets solved in the trade market. Whoever comes in, whoever's the best available player, that's how the problem gets sorted. And, that's I think Stan Bowman would love to bring in Mike Pekka in his prime. I'm not sure he's going to be able to.
Yeah, fair. Spec, we'll see you at the rink.
All right, sounds good, Jake.
There you go. That's Mark Spector. The Spec Report brought to you by GS Construction. Quick break. We will return and we'll hear from Chris Knobloch.
The longest running basketball show in Canada airs every Saturday morning at 10 on Sports 1440. Hoop City with Paul Sir introduces a new generation of basketball talk, and it's right here on Edmonton's home for sports, Sports 1440.
It only comes once a year.
Aw, Valentine's Day.
What? No, from the top. It only comes once a year.
Oh, here we go. The Rock and Roll Super Party, only at On the Rocks.
Join host Ryan Jesperson on Sunday, February 8th.
At OTR for the biggest football party in Edmonton.
Your $30 ticket includes
all-you-can-eat buffet, commemorative t-shirts, prepaid Miller Lights, and entry to all prizes, including
$1,000 cash.
The Rock and Roll Super Party.
Only at On the Rocks.
Book your table today.
On the Rocks, YEG.com.
Does your New Year's resolution include saving money? Then don't miss the store-wide inventory clearance at the Brick. Save up to 70% off in-store clearance items. Buy more, save more on bedroom and dining furniture. Up to 25% off. Save on select major kitchen appliances. Plus, buy 2 or more and save the tax. Finally, a resolution you can keep. The Brick, saving you more. Some exclusions apply. See in-store for details.
Craving a dining experience that rises above the rest? Head to Summit Restaurant, nestled in the heart of the Silent Ice Center and just minutes from South Edmonton Common. Savor Summit's exceptional house-made pizza, delectable entrees, and expertly crafted cocktails, all served in a stylish, modern atmosphere. For a casual meal or a special night on the town, Summit Restaurant offers a straightforward yet refined experience where every bite and sip reflects our dedication to quality. Elevate your dining experience. Visit Summit Restaurant tonight.
Shoulder pain. It can make even the simplest things like reaching up, lifting a bag, brushing your teeth, or sleeping frustrating. Rotator cuff strains, impingement, arthritis, they're some of the most common issues we treat every day. I'm Grant Fedoruk, and at Leading Edge Physio, our team brings postgraduate training, evidence-based technology, and just the right amount of humor and humility to help you feel better. Because we never forget the most important part, the gratitude we feel for every patient who allows us the opportunity to care for them. Because life shouldn't hurt. When it does, leadingedgephysio.com.
Legacy Heating and Cooling offers no payments and no interest for 1 year on your new furnace. So when you wake up to no heat, call Legacy. Call Legacy. If you need it immediately with no overtime rates. If you need it immediately and want to combo it with AC. Call Legacy. Call Legacy. No payments and no interest for 1 year on your new furnace. It could only be Legacy Heating and Cooling.
Why pay dealership prices when you can get the same quality for less? Hi, it's Lisa, and here at Ed's Auto Salvage, we've been Alberta's trusted source for used auto parts for nearly 50 years. From engines to mirrors, transmissions to tires, we've got it all at prices guaranteed to keep your wallet happy. Shop local, shop smart. Shop Ed's Auto Salvage in Westlock. Be sure to visit us online at edsautosalvage.com and get your vehicle back on the road for less.
Invest for today and tomorrow. Vision Credit Union makes it simple with 2 RRSP options to fit your goals. Choose a secure term deposit RRSP with guaranteed returns or a mutual fund RRSP offering higher growth potential with exciting opportunities. With an RRSP, you'll save on your income tax, grow your investments tax-free, and get closer to your dreams. Whether it's retirement or your first home, the deadline to qualify for 2025 tax deductions is March 2nd. Learn more at visioncu.ca.
Hey, Gary, is that your dad?
No, this is Evan, the new sales rep I hired.
Oh.
First impressions matter, but when hair loss takes over, it can feel like you're not being seen for the maverick you truly are. Hi, I'm Dr. Vance Elliott. At Advanced Hair and Skin Surgery, we know that hair loss is more than just a cosmetic issue. It's personal. Let's discuss all the cutting-edge options available so you can make a great impression every time.
Book a free consultation today at drvanceelliott.com.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Papa John's. Enjoy Papa John's delicious butter chicken pizza for only $19.99 for a limited time. Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's. You can order at papajohns.ca or on the Papa John's app.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Keep it going for a sec. Maybe we don't have time. I wanted to get to the crescendo here, but maybe not. Maybe next time. So, there it is. There it is. There we go. Welcome back to the Jason Gregor Show, Sports 1440, sports1440.ca, YouTube, Facebook, X, Instagram. As always, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching the show. It's brought to you by PlayAlberta.ca. We got a few for you today at Play Alberta. We got the some odds boosts and more. McDavid, Oilers winning. McDavid, keep in mind, he has 24 points in his last 9 games. What about a Tristan Jarry save prop bet? So get to that. McDavid shots. And every now and then, the Oilers, they've really dominated the Penguins lately. So will they dominate them tonight, which would be to the tune of 3 goals? Maybe, but well, hey, if it was going for 3 wins in a row, no chance. But the Oilers have actually been pretty good fending off losing streaks, where after a loss, they bounce back and play better. And we'll see if that continues tonight. They are 14-3-4 when trying to avoid a 2-game losing streak. So, well, they can't win 3 in a row. They've done a pretty good job at not losing multiple games. Now, of course, they've done it a few times, but not very many. So we'll see where that goes. Let's hear from Coach Chris Knobloch on a few things. And first of all, just on his team trying to find their game and becoming the team that you can kind of count on to know what you're going to get most nights.
I think the last 7, 8 games, actually, if you even go back before that, and then looking at, usually expected goals gives you a good indication of how you're playing. And I think it's, you look back about 15 games, I think 2 of them expected goals we were outplayed. Other than that, we've been outplaying the other team. And not that that's always the indication of winning and losing, but it gives you a good idea of, are you doing more good than bad? And I think, over that last month, there's been more good. So we got to continue doing that. Now just finding ways we can win games. And that's whether it's those little things, 1 less turnover, 1 less penalty against, or just putting the puck in the net. But overall, I like what we've been doing.
All right. We'll see. They've only had a stretch, like they're 5-6 in their last 11 games. So I don't know. I guess we have different expectations. I guess I'll say that. Different expectations. Where does he think the fit is long-term for Nugent Hopkins? Left wing or at center?
I think that can change. There's the opportunity of adding before the deadline. If there's a forward, it's going to be difficult to find a centerman. I think so. That's one thing to be thinking of. The other thing is, that line has been playing so well. Nugent Hopkins has been a great left winger on that line with Dable this year. That right now we like that line together. So, but going long term, having 3 lines, finding some chemistry. I think I'm still undecided on that aspect.
Appreciate his honesty. Because I think that's true. He's undecided. Doesn't really know yet. And I think it depends on who they add. If they can get a 3rd-line center, then he'll stay at the wing. If they can get a top-line winger, I think then he goes to center. I really think that's what it's going to come down to. What about Vasily Podkolzin, who's having himself a pretty solid season, 12 goals, all 5-on-5 so far this season. He's been physical. He's reliable. How the coach views him, and is Podkolzin a guy who's morphing into a legit top 6 winger?
I see Pods as a first line left winger or second line left winger, whether he's playing with Leon or Connor. And right now with, some uncertainty with our lines, Nuge playing center or Roslovic or Draisaitl. But I think long term, it's probably him playing with Leon. And, those two have been together for a long time. Kapanen coming back, hasn't played very many games this year because of obviously his injuries. But when he did come back, that line looked energized. They looked like they could score on a regular basis. So when those three are together, available, that's something I'd like to let run for a while.
We'll see. I do understand. Like there's certain guys that match up well. Podkolzin and Draisaitl seem to have pretty good chemistry. And Tristan Jarry getting consecutive starts. Why is he going with his guy coming off the injury?
Yeah, I think with the amount of shots that he had the other night, but also the fact that we had a day off on Monday and we're going to have another day off on Friday, that his workload had been lower so that he could handle this game tonight.
Yeah, well, we'll see. It's his former team. I get it. They'll want to do it. Matthias Ekholm spoke to the media today and just, it was asked actually, is he a little disappointed that he won't see his former teammate, Stuart Skinner, in goal tonight?
I don't have any really thought about that. It's always, they have two good goaltenders and they're playing back to back. So that's their decision. I try not to focus too much on it.
What about Ekholm? Start of the season, like most guys in the team, wasn't where he wanted to be. But really since mid to late November, Ekholm's game is back. How does he feel his game has evolved as the season's gone?
Yeah, I think it's been better for sure. It's also, with the injury that I had and coming back early, it was, I didn't feel as comfortable skating as I am now. Obviously, it's been a road for that and just trying to, I feel like right now I'm in a really good spot where I don't really think about anything going on in my body. I feel great that way, so I can just focus on the game. And usually when you can do that, it's your numbers are going to be better and you're going to feel better about your game. So, no, I feel good personally where I'm at. I feel like our D pairing has been pretty solid as of late. I think we're contributing to some good hockey and, yeah. Thanks, Bob, I guess.
Do you follow?
Looking at the last one, Ekholm just was asked about his relationship with Skinner.
Yeah, no, it's we live in the same neighborhood, so kind of came natural about driving to the rink or to the airport, and it's a big drive here, so you get a little bit of time to talk and life in general, and usually like in the playoffs too, you don't want to get too high or low, and it's nice to sometimes have a teammate that you can air things out with if you need to, and sometimes not even talk about hockey at all. So I think we developed a really nice friendship, and I appreciate him as a person.
So Stu Skinner will be on the bench tonight for the Pittsburgh Penguins after getting the victory last night in Calgary. But Brett Kulak will be playing. Probably have a pretty good, both local guys, Skinner and Kulak. You know what? Skinner has 8 siblings. 8 siblings? Yeah, he's the youngest of 9. So probably had a lunch date somewhere today, I would think. Be able to catch up with some family and friends. Been a hectic month. Anytime players get traded, it's, especially when you got a few young kids, it can be a little bit hectic. So he'll be able to just sit and relax, and I would expect there will be a welcome back Stuart Skinner at some point in the game tonight. 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. Hey, Greg, do you see DeBrusk as an option for the Oilers, or is his AAV likely too high from Stu Lowe? Well, I don't know. His AV isn't crazy, but it's money in, money out at some point for the Edmonton Oilers, right? And DeBrusk is 5.5, and I think he has, he's got quite a few years after this. 5 more years after this, if my memory is correct on his contract. So, yeah, I don't know. Like I think DeBrusk in Vancouver right now, you probably could buy low. right? Vancouver's not going to get the return off what the player was prior to being prior to this season in Vancouver. So now's the time to trade for a player like that. If you believe that he can get back to the player he was before, and he's definitely not too old to do that. So what's interesting about Jake is if you look at his career, he's never really played with a super fast center. So you know what? Would that benefit his game? Would it? Because when you play at the faster center, usually it creates a little bit more openings, especially in the offensive zone, because that guy's speed is, people, whether they're in chase mode or they back off, it creates more openings. He's never really had that as a center. Now, obviously, no one plays with guys like McDavid, but some centers are just quicker than others. So I'd have to look and say, okay, how's Edmonton going to make the trade work? Is Vancouver going to take Mangiapane? Sure. But then you still have to, it always have to be like Mangiapane and Adam Henrique to make that type of trade work, right? Like there has to be more than just the 3.6 going out. I don't think Vancouver is going to retain on a guy who's got that much term left. Especially considering how things are going in Vancouver with their ownership group. It's kind of destabilized. There's some infighting going on. The one brother wants to buy the other brother buy him out. So I don't know. I don't think he's in a position now where he's like, oh, you know what? We're going to retain salary on a lot of guys. So I think you'd have to make the money work. And, the benefit is if you acquire a guy like DeBrusk is the term. You're getting him for more than just a rental. Because I don't know. Doesn't mean it's impossible. Doesn't mean it would never happen. But would Stan Bowman give up a first for a pure 1-year rental? I don't think so. A lot of teams try to avoid that if they can. We'll come back. We'll hear more from the head coach, give you some final little tidbits on the Oilers and the Penguins, some stats that might make you feel confident or nervous. Find out next on the Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
Hey, Edmonton, did you know a local Play Alberta winner scored over $500,000 on Mega Jackpots Ocean Bells? Think about the season tickets you could lock down with that kind of cash. From major casino winners every hour to jackpots worth millions and hundreds of popular games to money that stays in the province, there's never been a better time to sign up for Play Alberta. Download the app today to get started with casino, sports, and lottery all in one app. Must be 18 plus to play. When you gamble, use your game sense.
Vinny and Don in Hockey are dedicated to skill development for all hockey players. If you know a student athlete interested in growing as a person and a player, register for a free shadow day. Beginner or experienced, this program develops a student athlete skill in a supportive environment. It's a great opportunity for prospective student athletes entering grades 3 through 12 to see what Vinny and Donnan have to offer. Visit vinnyridge.epsb.ca or donnan.epsb.ca for more info and to sign up.
Come for Canada's largest trade shows, the biggest names in entertainment, exhilarating sporting events, and more. And stay for the experience at the Edmonton Expo Centre. Looking for the perfect place to host your next big event? From trade shows to galas, meetings, and concerts, the Edmonton Expo Centre has the space, event expertise, and service to make your next event unforgettable. With over 522,000 square feet of flexible event space, in-house catering, and operational expertise, they bring your biggest vision to life. Learn more at EdmontonExpoCenter.com today.
The job won't wait. Why should you? At AWS Welding Supplies and Repairs, conveniently located in Nisku, we've got everything you need to get it done. From product sales to servicing and calibrating machines, we're your one-stop shop. We're a proud, locally owned and operated business, committed to serving our community with a proven track record of customer service. Don't let a broken tool slow you down. We offer fast repairs and free same-day delivery of in-stock items to Leduc, Nisku, and South Edmonton. AWS Welding. We make it happen.
Your all-access pass to the world of sports is Edmonton's only sports radio station.
From pre- and post-game hockey shows to in-depth analysis from your favorite commentators, the action never stops on Sports 1440.
The new double cheesy melt at McDonald's. We're talking 2 juicy, mouth-watering 100% Canadian beef patties, 2 slices of cheesy goodness, with even more melty, cheesy sauce on top. Topped with pickles, then crispy and grilled onions. The way it all comes together, you don't just eat it, you melt into it. The double cheesy melt, only at McDonald's. For a limited time only, at participating McDonald's restaurants in Canada.
Top quality flooring, locally owned, and Canadian products from Beaulieu. Yeah, that's CFI.
CFI what?
No, CFI, Custom Floors Inc.
From free estimate to professional installation, contact Custom Floors Inc. at customfloorsinc.ca.
Your fantasy football league sucks. Why? Oh, we've got 7 painfully accurate reasons. And don't worry, we've got fixes too. Visit fantasytoilet.com for all the tools and hilarious awards to make your fantasy league suck less.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Cantork, made in Canada, made for Canada, where extreme isn't theoretical. Find your solution at cantork.com.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
$5:45. We roll through. A lot of texts coming in. People wondering about Shane Wright from the Seattle Kraken, whose name has popped up as a potential. But remember, in the report, it said they're looking for a top 6 forward and might be willing to move Wright for the top 6 forward. Well, the Oilers aren't looking. The Oilers don't have a top 6 forward to move. Right? Don't say Mangiapane. He's not a top 6 forward. Okay? He's not a top 6 forward. Shane Wright's he's not having the best year. Last year, he took a big step forward. And that's he wouldn't be the first player in NHL history to have a little bit of a step back in his second season in the league. Right? By far, wouldn't be that guy. So last year had 19 goals, 44 points in 79 games, and really came on in the second half of the season. This year, 7 goals, 17 points, 49 games. Hasn't been the same. Now, he's not playing as many minutes either, so that's part of it. New coach, part of it. Right? Coach playing the veteran guys. Like Shane Wright at this point isn't a proven top 6. You'd be acquiring him for the potential upside. I don't think I'd be acquiring Shane Wright to think he's going to be a difference maker in the playoffs this season. Could he be? Sure, anything's possible. But would it be realistic? Would that be the move? Like, I'd probably want, if I'm the Oilers and you're in a win now window, I'm probably acquiring a guy. I would look at that type of trade in the offseason. But if you're going into the playoffs and you're looking for a veteran player, a little bit more proven track record, I don't think that's the guy that you're looking to get right now, right? So that would be kind of my view and point on that. So we'll see. Cons, where are you at on a guy like Shane Wright?
I'm intrigued, right? Like, I mean, I remember the whole draft drama that there was. Like, he's going to be first, and then he didn't slip that far. In all reality, went down 4. He'd be someone I'd have a little bit of interest in, but at what cost? I think that's kind of what it is for me. I mean, I'm not going to give up too much for him at this point. Still, he is just 22 years old. He's got a lot of upside here, just turned 22. I would probably kick the tires on it. I'd take a look, but again, it's going to come down to return. And if it's too much for what he's done so far, I probably wouldn't be too eager to make that move, or I don't know if it'd be the risk for me. It's worth the risk.
Yeah, no, I would agree with you on that one for sure. Some other news around the NHL. If you're just missing it, Erik Karlsson will play tonight for the Pittsburgh Penguins. He comes back in after missing 5 games. There's a big game out at East that everybody was fired up about, and early on, it's been all Buffalo Sabres as they are leading 2-0. Jason Zucker scored 44 seconds into the game, and then they got a shorthanded goal from Beck Mallenstein. Oilers are getting some help on the out-of-town scoreboard as Boston is pumping Vegas tonight. It's 3-0 in the first period, and the shots are 15-4 for the Bruins. Charlie McAvoy on a power play, Elias Lindholm on a power play, and then Tanner Jeannot. They're up 3-0 in the first 10 minutes. Period's almost over, but they jumped out to a big lead. Blackhawks and Hurricanes are tied at 1. The Blue Jackets leading Dallas 1-0. Zach Werenski guy continues to. He's going to score 30 goals. He's got his 19th goal of the season. They lead 1-0. Other games involving Western teams, the Predators host the Senators, the Jets are hosting the Panthers, and the Wild are hosting the Detroit Red Wings. But yeah, that Vegas is going on a little bit of a tough stretch here on the road, and we'll see if Edmonton can maybe make up some ground while they're at home. And if the first period's any indication, it's a good start on the out-of-town scoreboard, where Vegas is currently ahead of the Edmonton Oilers. Now, Vegas has games in hand as well, right? They got 3 games in hand. They're 2 points up. So, Edmonton, you win tonight, and then there's still 3 games in hand, but they're even in points. So, you're going to need a little help in the out-of-town scoreboard and then take care of business on your own. But so far, so good. Now it's up to the Oilers to see if they can take advantage of it themselves. And, man, Zach Werenski, like everybody always just focuses on Cale Makar. I think Zach Werenski gets overlooked at just how good. Like, Makar's got 54 points, and he plays the majority of the minutes with that McKinnon line. Zach Werenski's got 52 points. He's got more goals. He's got more even strength points. Like, how can you tell me that Cale Makar is the clear winner for the Norris? I disagree wholeheartedly. Zach Werenski is doing more with less. No question in my mind. No question in my mind. He has been outstanding on a Columbus team that just doesn't have the ability. And he plays 26 and a half freaking minutes a night. Like, he is being excellent for the Columbus Blue Jackets. So we'll see if that continues. But, man, the 30-goal watch is definitely there for Zach Werenski this season. Like that. He's got 19. Now, Jacob Chikrin also has 19 goals. But if you look at forwards in the NHL, like, how many forwards have 19 goals? Well, I can tell you, 46. Zach Werenski's now tied for technically 39th with Zach Hyman. Now, Hyman's missed some games, of course, but that's how good of a goal-scoring season that he is getting. Hey, Gregor, do you think the Oilers will trade Frederick and a pick to get rid of him? I don't think so, no. He's got 7 years left on his contract. You know what? Like, are you going to give up a first rounder to get rid of him? No. So I don't see it's going to happen right now. And it's a little bit of a long-term play. The first year so far has not gone to plan. There is no question about that. It has not gone to plan. And we'll see if Frederick can kind of try to salvage this season. Like, the Oilers and probably fans have to hope that he can pull a Connor Brown. Right? A little different scenario. But remember Connor Brown? That first year, and everyone's like, oh, my God, he's brutal. Then guess what? He came alive in the playoffs late in the season. I'm not saying Frederick's going to do that, but that's at this point, that's what you got to shoot for. Otherwise, you just kind of regroup and hope that next year is better. That's really all you can hope for, to be honest. So we'll see how it goes. Cons, quickly, your thoughts on the NFL coaching carousel out there. You lost a guy.
Yeah, Jesse Minter going to the Baltimore Ravens, just announced as the head coach. Good hire by them. I think he's been kind of overdue. Even Chargers fans thought potentially last year, after just 1 year coaching in the NFL as a defensive coordinator, that he might be ready. But I like it. He's got a background in offense as well. Played collegiate wide receiver, so he kind of can touch on both sides of things. And you just see it from the Chargers players and their best players: Derwin James, Dion Henley, Tarheeb Still. Already putting out, tweets and posts on Instagram about how they're going to miss him. I think he's someone who, really came in and did such a good job. They didn't need the biggest names at certain positions, but they just had the guys that could fit in and play a role. Benjamin St. Juste came over from the Commanders, who probably wasn't a big name, but played very well for them in the past. Christian Fulton, who joined the Chargers, played 1 year there, got a big payday from the Chiefs. You also had Poona Ford on the defensive line, who played 1 year with the Chargers, got a big deal from the Rams. So I think he does a really good job of just evaluating talent and having guys fit in certain roles. And, that's big when it comes to free agency. When you see a guy that can do that, put you in a good spot and line you up for a potential payday, whether it be with that team or somewhere else. I think that's something players find attractive. So good move for the Baltimore Ravens, and tough one for the Chargers. If they don't get Mike McDaniel and they lose Minter, it's going to be a very tough offseason for me, Gregor.
Yeah.
Be heartbreak. Greg Roman will have to come back.
Oh, are you kidding me right now?
No.
Greg, wow.
I would take a day off in mourning if that happened.
Yeah. A day in mourning, that would be brutal. Well, it's like you call it. Debo's got interviewed by the Bills. Like, did he actually go there? That would be wild, man.
There's that familiarity. I mean, and I think he's grown a lot as a coach probably in the last couple of years. He went through some adversity with the Giants. Josh Allen probably likes him. That goes a long way.
Coming up, Walker Paulson pregame show. The Oilers and the Pittsburgh Penguins. Oilers trying to get back on the winning track and maybe move closer to Vegas. Stay tuned for all of the pregame excitement. Let's get to the Con Man and a Sports 1440 update brought to you by Loca. Meals.loca.ca. Dinner just got a whole lot easier and tastier. Have meals.loca.ca. Select the number of chef-crafted meals you like, and you get them delivered to your door every Sunday for as low as $10 per serving. Just heat, eat, repeat. Meals.loca.ca. Good night.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
It is game day. Oilers, Penguins down at Rogers Place. Puck drop just after 7. Pre-game coverage with Andrew Walker, Donovan Paulson, and Landon Ferraro coming up next here on Sports 1440. A bunch of games underway after 20 minutes. Bruins beating up on the Golden Knights 3-0. The Sabres lead the Canadiens 2-0. Hawks and Hurricanes tied at 1, and the Stars trailed the Blue Jackets 1-0. Zach Werenski with his 19th goal of the season in that one. Later tonight, Preds up against the Sens. Penguins, of course, here in Edmonton. You got the Jets and the Panthers and the Red Wings taking on the Wild. In the association, second quarter, Hornets lead the Magic 54-30. Rockets have a 51-50 lead over the Sixers, and the Wizards at home trail the Nuggets 41-36. Two news from the NFL. Raven hiring former Chargers defensive coordinator Jesse Minter as the next head coach. Minter spent time with the Ravens organization from 2017 to 2020 before heading to the collegiate level with Vanderbilt and Michigan. PWHL, Toronto and Vancouver. Puck drop 8 o'clock. Coming up next, pregame coverage with Andrew Walker. I'm Connor Halley. This has been a Sports 1440 update.
This is Sports 1440.